combined 71 points. Game 6 in Indiana Thursday night, live right here. Big news for Texas State as they are a heavy favorite, according to ESPN sources, to be issued a formal invitation to join the Pac-12. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I was like, I knew the show was starting, but I was like, why can't I hear? Oh, my headphones weren't plugged in. Everything else was all rock and rolling, ready to go. My headphones weren't plugged in. Oh, how we doing, San Antonio? It is a Tuesday.
What do you mean?
It's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday ever good? You said.
We're a day closer, and a lot of people get Thursday off.
Oh, that's true.
So...
Well, not us.
No, we don't. We're here for the peoples.
We are men of the people.
But I know a lot of folks are like already planning because they get Thursday. They're taking Friday. It's going to be a big 4-day weekend for a lot of people. So.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, not
beautiful.
for us.
Beautiful.
I'll be headed south with my toes in the sand, or toes in the water and ass in the sand.
Well, we're going to work our asses off on Thursday, Juneteenth, because there's going to be a Game 6 of the NBA Finals that day.
It's going to be the last game of the NBA season.
Yeah.
So we might as well be here to put a period on the end of the sentence.
We don't want to miss it. And any show who doesn't show up on Thursday, I think going forward you should question their seriousness as a program.
Yeah, but they're also smarter than us by actually taking the day. So
are they though?
Yeah. When the man gives you a day off, you take it.
Let me tell you how to finesse the game, Rob. If they offer you a Thursday, you say, oh, we'll work and we'll float that day. Then you float it to a Friday, and now you got a 3-day weekend.
Or what really happens around here is, oh, yeah, we'll give it to you another day until you ask for it. Like, oh, no, you can't take that day off. Oh no, that day is too important. Just like that Thursday we made you work back in June. So when the man gives you a day, you take the day.
Okay, well.
I mean, but that just shows our commitment.
That's probably true. We are the most committed show that exists, I could think.
Well, when your alarm goes off when ours does, you better be
That's
committed.
right. That's right.
It's the difference between eggs and bacon on a breakfast plate.
Mm-hmm.
The chicken's involved.
Wait, I don't understand that.
And when you look at what's commitment and what's involvement.
Oh, okay. The chicken is giving an offering.
The chicken is
but
involved.
Not the same
the
offering.
Pig
the pig
is committed.
Yes.
It's kind of like, as I used to have a coach, you're either a player or a participant.
Okay.
We play. We don't participate.
That's
we
right.
play. I got a bunch of coaching analogies.
This is the Players Club, Vic.
Yeah. The Players Club, baby.
That's right.
Is that Kojak? Telly Savalas is the Players Club, baby.
I like how some shows are too serious to have a cat on the shelf during their program. My poor dead taxidermied cat. They're so serious they can't do that, but they're not serious enough to show up for Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
But by the time they would have got here, it's old news. I mean, the story was last night, and on Thursday we'll be talking about the season and the draft.
Well, no, Thursday we'll be previewing the game.
No, the game will be done Thursday morning. So we're previewing the game Thursday night. That's right.
Yeah. So they're skipping out on that because they're too serious.
No, they actually are observing a holiday that we were all given.
That's true. Well, no, we weren't given.
Well, we were given.
Per se.
We just didn't accept.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I did. Well, yeah, Vic did because Vic is lazy and he wants to take the day off and
Well, the man doesn't want to pay him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Vic would make the big bucks if he worked on a holiday.
Oh yeah.
Us, our pay stays the same whether
we get paid by the year.
Yeah, whether we show up or not.
I get paid by the minute.
See, I know Vic is. That's why you are very wealthy. You're very, very wealthy.
That's why my solar's paid off.
That's right.
See.
This time of year, we're all
The sun
jealous.
powers his home. It's unbelievable. The sun will never go away, except at nighttime. How do you have power at night? I don't know. I don't know what you'll do. The game last night, while intriguing and competitive at times, did feel kind of like a...
It felt like it was the way this
This
series
is what
should
it's
have gone.
supposed to
But
have
for that
been.
miracle shot at the end of game one,
You know what?
I think it would have been a sweep. It would have looked like that.
Shea said that at the end of the game. He's like, this game played out pretty much how game one did, except for the last 5 minutes.
That's everything we thought we were going to see from Oklahoma City. We saw. I mean, no one expected 40 from Robin, but J-Dub was spectacular because of the gravity that Shea offered. Still getting 31, but the assists last night from Shea Gilgeous were the key to the game. And it was not because he was the point guard, quite the contrary. Last night, J-Dub was the point guard, and they were using Shea as the picker in pick and rolls, and they destroyed the Pacers running that set. It happened over and over and over in the first half. I think at last count there were 8 high pick and rolls between, and this was in the first half, between SGA and J-Dub. They found a wrinkle in the Pacer defense and exploited it to the hilt, and they never could stop it. And then, on top of that, J-Dub found his stroke and absolutely ate Aaron Naismith for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have not seen one defender get roasted like that for 4 quarters since David and Akeem. I mean, Naismith was a step behind all night long.
Think about how many guys on Oklahoma City do you think at the end of the day they're going to go in the locker room and go, man, you had a really good day on offense? It's going to be Jalen, probably maybe Kaysen Wallace and Aaron Wiggins.
Well, Kaysen was not a surprise. He was off. He finally found his stroke. Wiggins, anything's gravy. You know what I mean?
But I mean, to think that Chet was a non-factor on offense last night,
and that was a concerted effort to get him out of the game.
Caruso was outright bad on offense.
Bunnies. He could have had 25 last night.
And Shea was at best wildly ineffective.
Well, no,
or wildly
disagree.
No, not ineffective. He was not. He was inefficient, wildly inefficient.
Well, the game plan was designed for him to be choked.
Okay,
and there's a reason why there's 10 assists and he had his eyes up. He could have been far less efficient, because it's his team. But as the kind of great players tend to be, he still snuck in 31 on volume.
I know.
But he knew J-Dub was going by. The longer the game went, the more gravity they would have to offer to Williams. They had to go get him. So it opened the game up late for Shea, and he had a couple of good open late shots that helped to kind of protect that lead. But it was all about him understanding what the Pacers are trying to do to him, and it worked. I mean, the offense last night for the Pacers, while it's ISO ball, for the Pacers, for OKC, finally clicked last night. The one-on-one game was effective.
The other thing is, if there was some sort of a poll that could determine this, that would be interesting. My vote is that Tyrese Halliburton's the most overrated player in the NBA.
Dude, chill.
Chill. Rob, what other star could get away with what he did last night? Name one. And we wouldn't roast him. You can't not roast him when he plays like that.
He was hurt. I'm not trying to say what he's everything. But chill. He had lots of assists. He did all he could because their game plan was to take him out. And we finally saw the kind of defense that we should have seen for 4 quarters, for 4 games, that just squashed him. But a lot of that was by design, and he gave the ball up a lot. He did. He passed up a lot of stuff early. I don't understand why, but he was getting open. He just passed up shots.
He's not.
But overrated is not the term for him because you can't discount what he's done. You can't discount the run that he's done and the games that he's had.
He's had.
He's not a great player.
Moments.
He's
is
not
what he's
an
had.
all-NBA player, but he's an all-star. And that's all he is. But no, I don't say he's anything less than that, though. And to say that he's less than that is to say he's not overrated. He's exactly where he should be. He's a high average player.
Dude, imagine
but who did some spectacular things. His jersey is going to be hanging in Massachusetts because of the run he had for 3 series. I mean, it was spectacular.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, it's true. I mean, look at what he did.
He hit a shot against the Knicks.
And
then he hit a shot against the Thunder in Game 1. A mid-range jumper.
A shot against the Celtics, too. He had series and games winners in 3 different series. So it was you put him on the same level as Kemba. Kemba never really became a superstar, but had his run.
You know what? I'm all right with Tyrese Halliburton being on the same level as Kemba Walker.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fair.
But keep in mind, there are times when players get on heaters, and he did. Now, and you could also say this team isn't here but for him. So I'm not gonna eat that overrated stuff because it's gonna be easy to lob. He's better than people think, but he ain't as good as people are saying.
15 points a game in the finals, 7 assists, 4 turnovers per game.
Last night was terrible. Last night, the turnovers were terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
the thing about it is, we will dismantle the Pacers because of what happened in a game. But on the other side of this, we also see what the Herculean effort that they have offered for the other games, because we saw what Oklahoma City's capable of last night. And they have kept this game close, and they have beaten them on their floor. So let's not say overrated. Just say he's better than I thought, but he ain't as good as people are saying.
No, overrated. J-Rod, he'll be on Reggie's level. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, he's taken them as far as Reggie ever did, brother. I'm just saying, he's right there with him.
He's taking them?
Here they sit. Game 6 of the finals. What did Reggie do?
I don't even know if he's their best player.
I'm just saying.
Reggie was like one of the 5 or 6 best players in the league. I don't even know if he's the best player on this team.
He is the best player on this team. What are you talking about? Pascal is a solid player, but Pascal, there's a reason why Pascal has been on 2
Pascal crapped his pants in any of these games?
He has been solid.
Has he had a game where he crapped his pants?
Keep in mind, Pascal also got MVP of the previous series. He's getting his gravy.
Because he's the better player.
Well, he might very well be. But to say that, I'm not saying that he's anything less than he is. This Indiana Pacers team shouldn't be here, and they wouldn't be here but for him. Without him, they ain't here. So you can lob overrated. He had a terrible game last night against the best man-on-man defensive team I've seen in 15 years. So I'm not going to say overrated. He is better than people thought he was at the beginning of the year. He ain't as good as people are saying now. He ain't as good as his highlight reel. But his highlight reel is pretty damn spectacular.
The highlight reel is spectacular, but that's not what he is. That's
not
what
he is. A very good NBA point guard.
He's okay.
Not just okay. He is an all-star. He's an all-star point guard.
Okay. I mean,
what are you talking about? Yeah, okay. He is an all-star point guard.
Okay. I mean, what is he?
It's just high average. That's all. I mean, an all-star is high average. There's 30 dudes showing up to this. There's 40 dudes showing up for this thing. So,
what other high average guys are getting their bleeps sucked the way this has been going?
The way you put it, that's a loser's speak. When you put it that way, that's what losers say. He didn't get. What are you talking about? He's playing in the last game of the NBA season, and he took it 2 games further. His team 2 games further than most people gave him credit for. 2 games further. This is going to go 6 games. Most people saw a sweep. Not even close. He hit a game winner in game 1, but he's overrated. He's got a team in the no. Who's sitting at home? Lots of superstars are sitting at home watching, but he's overrated.
Yeah.
He's not overrated. He's exactly what he was. He's an all-star. No better, no worse.
Making those game winners while playing average ball for 40 minutes and then great ball for 8 does not make you...
Yes, it does, brother. You show up in the biggest moments, you're a winner. Oh, come on. See, that's what losers say. Losers say what you're saying.
No, losers say Tyrese Halliburton's a winner because he's a freaking loser.
He is a winner. He is playing in Game 6. He put 3. What are you talking about?
He's literally costing them this series.
No, he's not. The reason they are here is because of him. 3 game winners. But for those, they're watching.
And what's the reason they lost last night?
Not him. There's 5 dudes playing.
4 points and
how many assists?
5 turnovers.
How many assists?
6 assists to 4 turnovers. Oh, my God. All-star.
Over who?
Whoa.
He's an all-star. He is an all-star.
He's not even the best point guard in this series.
No, he's not.
Lou Dort is better than Tyrese Halliburton.
Shut up.
He's better.
Okay, brother. Next statement.
He's better.
You just walked the plank. Lou Dort.
They've been going one-on-one. Who's had a better series? Who's had a better series?
I want to play you in basketball. Go get a GM job. You think Lou Dort is better than
Lou Dort is better than Tyrese Halliburton.
The plank. You lost all credit.
That's fine.
You lost it. Lou Dort.
Lou Dort is eating Tyrese Halliburton's lunch.
Lou Dort is better than
Rob. Answer the question. How many did Tyrese put up on Lou Dort last night?
6.
4.
6 assists.
Okay. Oh,
dude, you count everything to one. See, loser speak is that.
Oh,
they are playing in Game 6 of the finals. He has hit 3 game winners, but he's overrated.
Oh,
God.
Lou Dort. Meanwhile,
you literally just said Lou Dort is better than Ty Halliburton.
Yeah.
Scoreboard.
Yeah. Well, it's 3 games to 2 right now.
Scoreboard is what you can go by, but it ain't true.
3 games to 2 right now.
And Lou Dort's the difference.
And Lou Dort literally shut Tyrese Halliburton out last night. Shut him out.
He'd had
where people are like, oh, his leg. Oh, his poor leg. Bro, that's loser talk.
No, loser talk.
His leg.
He played.
Imagine MJ saying, oh, I lost because my leg hurt.
He played. He came back out of the locker room. He didn't quit.
He played?
He did.
Damn, I never saw him put the ball through the basket.
Dude, no. You said he left.
He walked around out there and did a bunch of nothing.
Dude.
Turned the ball over a bunch.
I refuse to accept what you're saying.
That's okay.
They're losing to a better team, but for you to say some of the things you've said is outlandish. It is.
I mean...
It's outlandish. It's not true.
I value what Lou Dort brings more than what Tyrese Halliburton brings.
The guy who doesn't even start for OKC. The guy who spends more minutes on
every game.
More minutes on the bench than others. He doesn't. He's a fine defensive player. He's one of the best in the league. But to compare him and say, oh, he is better than Halliburton.
He's played 33 minutes per game in this series. Halliburton's played 35.
Okay. There is a vast difference. Just to say that is just wrong. It's not true. It's just not a fact. One's an all-star, one's not.
Okay. One's been certainly more valuable in this series than the other.
No. He's played a role in a very good team. He's like the dude. I love Lou Dort. But to say what you just said is not true. And I hate when I hear overrated, that is just, what? He's not gotten any other gravy than what he's gotten. He's an all-star. No one's voted him 3rd in the MVP rankings. Nobody's given him anything other than he's an all-star, and he has been the point guard on a team that made it to a place that nobody thought they'd make it. And he's still hearing overrated because in Game 6 he got locked down by a great defender. Well, guess what? A lot of dudes have had that happen.
Do you know how many times this season Tyrese Halliburton's turned the ball over 4 times in a game? Lou Dort took him. There's no defending what happened last night, but that doesn't define a series, a game, or a career last night. This team was in it to win it with 3 minutes to go, even though they had a terrible game, because he played, because he did what he did. I'm not going to take anything away from what he did. They didn't win or lose just because of him, but they were part of he was there. And his other guard, Nembhard, was there any help coming there? No. Dude, I just said you just went out of your way to say he's the best player on their team. When is a player allowed to be the best player on the team and go 0 for 6 from the field in a finals game?
Lots of dudes. We saw Shai Gilgeous go for 15 and
did he go 0 for 6 in a finals game?
In a finals game, lots of dudes have had bad finals games. Not many have had to play against the defense that he's gone against. And the fact that he's done anything against this defense is remarkable. Keep in mind,
who's been D'ing him up?
What?
Who's been D'ing him up?
Dort and others.
All right.
But that makes him better overall. You would take Dort over Halliburton.
I'll take Dort over Halliburton.
Good luck.
At least I know what I'm getting.
That's why you're a UFC fan.
That's what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting.
That's why you're a UFC fan.
I know Lou Dort's not going to be sitting on the sideline holding.
He wasn't sitting on he wasn't sitting on the sidelines. He played 34 minutes on a bad leg that's bothered him. Now, how bad it was it a reason or excuse? I'm not going there. But I'm not taking a thing away from a dude who's taken his team to Game 6 of the finals, and to call him a
4
overrated
points, 3 turnovers.
1 game. What happened before?
34 minutes. Well, he's had the game before he had 5 turnovers, so
and
he
how
upped
many
it
points?
that game. 18.
Okay, against Dort. Holy crap.
18.
Against Dort, the greatest player in the world.
Yeah.
He had 18. Pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's still
considering he was playing the best defender in the world, he had 18 on him.
Still lost by 7.
Well, no. See, then you go to that. Dude,
well, you said scoreboard, right?
Scoreboard, I agreed with you. Yeah, he's got scoreboard. He does. He has the W's, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. At the end of the day, are you holding the trophy or not? That's what matters.
Tyrese ain't holding no trophy.
No, he's not. But the fact that they are even here to talk about it is entirely due to his play.
Well, congratulations to John Starks 2.0.
Yes, John Starks, John Stockton. We could go hundreds of players that are worthy but never held up a ring. He is just those guys. No more, no less.
John Stockton is a stretch.
Does he hold scoreboard? I'm just saying the same thing. People blew style. He's overrated. All he has is Malone to throw to. He doesn't do anything until he leaves. And oh my God, he's the greatest ever. So
we got a lot of show. Vixie waving at me to take a break.
Yeah,
I'll get us back on. I'm overrated as a radio host. Can't keep us on clock. Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a trouble spot at 281 southbound at Josephine Grayson Street. Looks like they moved it off to the shoulder. Starting to fill in along 35 northbound from Loop 410 to O'Connor. We've got that ongoing road work southbound 35 Olympia Parkway on down to O'Connor. And that's got the roadway reduced to one lane. So it's going to take you about 45 minutes or so to get through all that. Downtown 35 lower level southbound Alamo to Laredo Street. That's closed. And then upper level, only the right lane is open. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
John, what do you think about these tariffs? What do you think is going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The prices on used cars have suddenly come up because the cost has gone up. And at GimmeTheVin.com, we're paying more. Go to GimmeTheVin.com, put in your license plate, and see for yourself. We're paying more today than we were yesterday. Remember, the tariffs have raised the car prices, and we are paying extra. GimmeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer. Sell us your car.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
George gets justice.
At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we don't just represent crash victims, we fight for them. When an accident impacts your life, my team and I are committed to obtaining the justice you deserve. We approach every case with dedication because each one is personal to us. Our promise, no payment unless we win. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Kinetico water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news, all those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Kinetico water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Kinetico only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Kinetico was built to work, not break. That's why a Kinetico is backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty, and right now receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Kinetico, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
KineticoSA.com.
License number 38961.
The right stuff.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s.
Call Right Home Services.
Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. 210-444.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, turn your military rank into college credit. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Visit umgc.edu/SATX to learn more.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District knows that life moves fast, and the last thing you want is to miss out due to an illness. Vaccines are safe and help your immune system fight off serious disease that can stop or change your plans. They protect you, the people you love, and can prevent you from getting sick. Let's get vaccinated, because when it comes to your health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Yes. Frank says Tyrese led the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, now to the finals, but he's overrated. Yeah, remember in the Eastern Conference Finals last year when he played 2 out of the 4 games of a sweep and then took his ball and went home?
Was he overrated when the playoffs began?
He literally got voted as the most overrated player in the league this year.
When the playoffs began. I mean, I'm talking about the season. I mean, when the playoffs began, was he considered?
I honestly think, like, when they first said that he was the most overrated player in the league, I was like, that seems a little unfair. But the way he's been glossed.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
In these playoffs is wild to me.
Some gloss. And I keep thinking of, and this is a terrible analogy, but there's some of it to this. Remember when Buddy Ryan called out the wide receiver Chris Carter and said, all he does is catch touchdowns?
Yeah.
Because Carter would go and catch, 3 passes a game, and there was always a touchdown in it. His stats never really represented, but you go, well, yeah.
I mean, that's how you win games.
Right. All you do is catch touchdowns. No, his numbers weren't spectacular, but, dude, yeah, he caught a whole bunch of touchdowns. I'm going to give him a bunch of credit for it. Well, Halliburton only scores only gets big buckets. He doesn't get all the buckets. He only gets big ones. And you go, yeah, but I kind of need other production. I kind of need the other 38 minutes kind of matter too. So I get why people get mad at him. I get why you're like, dude, you were not there, and you're the glory boy. You showed up at the last second, hit a shot, and pranced off to the sidelines. He is not he's not that. LeBron isn't that either. But he had a string of lucky shots for a dude that's pretty good at basketball. He's not even a top 5 point guard. But when the playoffs began, he wasn't that. So he's gotten some gloss. But the overrated moniker is mistaken. He's not overrated. He's just a very good guard on an average team, and that he elevated with other dudes. And part of it's the offense. Carlisle has the good to better, better to best. When they were playing their best last night, there were 4 passes, there was a penetration into the paint, and there were kicks. Halliburton just kept dribbling into like 8 dudes. I don't know what he was doing last night. It was awful. But as a sum total, I hate when I hear that, because what it does is supply more fuel so every time he hits another shot, there they come again. Overrated. No, he's a good player who went on a run. But he's a very good player. I mean, there's a lot of teams that would kill or die to have a Halliburton on their team. Should he be your best player? No, because he can't be. He's not that good.
No.
But as a compliment, a 3 player, absolutely, man.
Rin says if OKC wins, it's going to have an asterisk because Halliburton's overrated.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's poking fun at me.
I know.
But you know what? That's fine. Like, you can put an asterisk by this if you want, because at the end of the day, Oklahoma City, and if you want to knock them, the knock is they will have beat a very average team in the NBA Finals.
They are. They're a good team. They had a great one. They had not an easy run. They had a very fortuitous run. But last night, again, I can't stress enough, last night is what we should have seen for 4 games. Yeah. That was Oklahoma City. That's the team we saw for 90 games. That was them. Yeah. I mean, just unrelenting, unending pressure. I mean, they just never stopped, even though watching Caruso play last night offensively was God. But defensively, there was no reason to take him off the court. He was, I don't know what his plus minus was, but despite all the missed shots, I bet he had a pretty good plus.
Yeah, he did.
And so, I mean, that was what, when we saw this finals begin, we go, I don't know how Indiana wins this, because they're about to run into this amoeba man-on-man defense that, dude, if you got to move the ball so fast to get past this man-to-man defense. I don't think you can do it. And that's one of the reasons they had all these turnovers. They just kept trying to move the ball, and there was never anything open. I mean, just squelching defense.
And it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of what the Pacers have done in these playoffs, and I get it. But at the end of the day, the Pacers are just they're an okay team. And you can say, well, they made it. They made it to the Eastern Finals last year. They did, and they got this. Really, if anything, this points to how crummy the East is. I mean, it is a crumb bum.
We had it was a fortuitous run. I mean, and matchups makes fights, and they were a good matchup for a Cleveland team that ended up being too tall and too slow. They were a good matchup against a Knick team that just imploded on themselves. I would have liked to have seen a couple other teams play Oklahoma, because this team was such a poor man's version of the team they played. They're just a poorer version with a slightly different offense with basically the same dudes, minus a Shai Gilgeous. They just don't play the same kind of defense. This was an overwhelming basketball team in Oklahoma City. The numbers told us this should have been a sweep, baby. It shouldn't even been close. So just seeing that, a lot of it was OKC in their first time here. It took them 5 games before they felt comfortable, and they rolled out last night like they'd been there and done that before. I mean, there was no relenting, no quit. They knew the runs were coming. They fought the runs off. Even though Indiana got within 5, was there anybody ever nervous anywhere in the world? No. Only people nervous were the ones watching the line.
Dude, they got within 2.
Yeah.
And they told Jalen Williams at the end of the game, in the fourth quarter, they made it a 2-point game. He's like, did they?
Yeah, see,
I never felt like that.
Never. I mean, the only people that cared about the last 5 minutes were those that had something on it. Seriously, It wasn't about who was going to win. Were they just going to hold on to the 9 or 10, depending on what you got?
That did matter. It mattered to some.
A lot. And as J-Dub said, they got that close because it never felt like it. I was never worried. And this is how it should have been for 4 games, an ass whooping.
Yeah, it really should. And we'll continue this conversation on the other side. Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a trouble spot at 281 southbound at Josephine Grayson Street. Looks like they moved it off to the shoulder. Starting to fill in along 35 northbound from Loop 410 to O'Connor. We've got that ongoing road work southbound 35 Olympia Parkway on down to O'Connor. And that's got the roadway reduced to 1 lane. So it's going to take you about 45 minutes or so to get through all that. Downtown 35 lower level southbound Alamo to Laredo Street. That's closed. And then upper level, only the right lane is open. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
The Blitz will be live this Friday at Lion & Rose Dominion with your chance to win Seether and Daughtry tickets, some cool swag, and a $100 Lion & Rose gift card. It's this Friday starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 after the Dominion exit.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff.
Now we can chill, Mom.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
How did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is a listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to be
Precio.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on Experience Beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, all the reaction to what was a big Game 5 in OKC.
Plus, the Cowboys, while on vacation until Oxnard, always something to talk about. And we'll do that with Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk at 5:15.
And what rumors involving the Spurs are there today?
Kevin Durant. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let's go!
Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't know this one.
I know them 20s real well.
Who is this?
Clips.
What year?
I don't know. Let's see. Early thousands, maybe.
See, Claymore's acting like I'm crazy for what I'm saying.
You crazy.
And then he says,
You crazy.
OKC are the Temu version of the Warriors dynasty. And SGA. And if you want to think that, that's fine. SGA is Temu Harden is the most laughable thing. Because SGA is about to do something Harden has never and will never do.
Dude, he is. Yeah. He reminds me of Tim in demeanor, in the way he acts off the court. But he's got Kobe mentality, man.
He kind of does.
Will cut your heart out, and not really. It's like Hannibal Lecter. They said, they had a heart monitor on him when he cut 3 guards up, and it never got over 80.
Yeah,
that's Shea. He'll cut your heart out, and pulse never goes up.
I found an article with the worst finals performances of all time.
Ooh, there's been some bad ones.
There's been some bad ones.
I think up until has anybody ever topped Starks? I'm not sure anybody's ever topped a Starks game.
So I'm going to give you what they have as the bottom 5, like the 5 worst.
Yeah.
Which one of the ones I remember was number 6, which was Patrick Ewing, game 1 of the
Bunny.
Yeah, this was it was bad. Okay, but here we go. Worst performances in finals history. 2011, LeBron James. Miami had taken a 2-1 series, had a chance to take it in their own hands. LeBron went 3 from 11 from the field, scored 8 points with 4 turnovers, no points in the fourth quarter. Ooh. Mavericks went on to win games 4, 5, and 6.
Yep. That was the albatross around LeBron's neck for 5 years.
Yep, and deserved it. And he ate it.
Yeah,
he had to. Number 4, Russell Westbrook. Now this isn't even a finals. I don't know what it's talking about here because this is the Clippers. Game 3 of the Clippers and the Mavericks. This is a first round game, so I'm not even. Who cares about that one? 2018, another one. Eastern Conference semifinals. Ben Simmons. So this is the worst playoff performances. Okay, here's one. Number 2 is Seattle and Washington in the NBA Finals. This was 1978.
Oh, yeah, I remember the year. I remember the finals. Was it Gus Williams?
Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson, yeah.
Hall of Famer, by the way. Scored 4 points, did not make a single field goal. Sound familiar? They lost 117-82. He went 0 of 14 from the field. Says that summer Johnson made a promise to himself he was not going to have that type of performance again. The very next year, Sonics won the title, and he was named the Finals MVP.
And moved on to the Celtics.
Yeah. But the number 1, the worst all time, John Starks, although I think this has to be in the conversation now. Starks went 2 of 18 on field goals, 0 of 11 from 3.
Nobody will ever top that, man. I've never seen a game where his players...
That was against the Rockets, by the way.
After he'd miss another shot, I'll never forget watching Ewing go and get in his face like, pass the ball, dude. So that will go all time. last night Halliburton certainly measures up. I mean,
he's in that
if
conversation.
If you're one of the best players in the world, you got to show up, and he did not. So it'll go down as one of the worst because on the other side of that, I just can't get over the fact that in the pregame, 20-10, they're undefeated. Yeah. 20-10, and then undefeated in back-to-backs. I mean, they always come back, and did not happen, man. We regressed back to the mean. We came back to where things should be.
And all the drama, the Thunder lost 2 games.
Well, I mean, in hindsight, we'll look back and go, hiccup, one was a hiccup, one was a beating. One was a hiccup, one was just a miracle, but one was a beating. They lost 1 game.
And really, we shouldn't. And the reason why James said this earlier, I wouldn't give any credit to Oklahoma City unless they beat 2 teams in the East, and that would have been Boston and Cleveland. And he's right. That's why when this matchup came to fruition, I said, this is stupid. This is a waste of time because there's not a world where Oklahoma City doesn't beat these guys.
Well, I mean, the fact that they took it to 6, I think it is a monumental effort because they're doing exactly what we thought would do. Now, we are putting dirt on a body that we're not sure is dead yet. But I think we can
hand
agree.
Me a shovel.
Yeah, I think we can agree that no matter what happens on Thursday night, there ain't no way they win 2 straight. I mean, they might be a home. I mean, the hardest thing to do in sports is to close a good team out at home. I mean, it is. That's the hardest thing. So weird things happen, drama ensues, but what Indiana is going home with is a true picture of what they're facing. Because now Oklahoma City believes everything they did last night worked.
Probably the worst thing about me as a sports fan is that I care very little about the feeling of things and momentum. I really care about numbers. I value long-term statistics and things like that. All right, we'll hit a break. I'll continue this conversation on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sinks overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys. And I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then, with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Guys looking for a Father's Day gift that will give that extra boost of health and energy to live your best life? Synergenics and Low T Center are offering free weight loss consultations and free T-tests as a special offer celebrating dads. Treatment is personalized to you and most major insurance is accepted. With the freedom to choose in-center care or at-home treatment, you're helping get back control of your health. From now till June 21st, enjoy a free B12 shot when you stop in for a TRT and weight loss test. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You want to talk overrated?
Oh, I see what you did there.
On a side note, if you're bored and you're on Apple TV and you're a U2 fan and you happen to stumble on this Bono U2 retrospective show, this bizarre one-man show that Bono put on,
oh God,
don't watch it. Man,
I mean that doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world.
I'm totally excited about this. I'm like, how did I not know about this hour and 30-minute long Bono hosted U2 history of? I was so excited. Well, I'd tune it in. It's him in front. It's like an off-Broadway one-man show. So he's talking and he's doing this. You don't want to see it, but it's all this production and he's doing this one-man kind of soliloquy. And I'm thinking he's getting ready to invite on the rest of the band. Like he's got I think the whole band's going to be there and they're going to talk about how they met and all the stuff that,
it's just
I want to hear. He introduces a freaking chair and he puts a chair down and he talks about the Edge. And then I'm like, so he's not here? You couldn't even get the rest of the band here? And then he introduces the other dude and it's a chair. They didn't even show up for Bono's one-man bad show.
Do they have strife in their band?
But behind the scenes, the band was in turmoil. It was the most self-involved, I'm special, look at me kind of hour-long, how great I am kind of special. God, it drove me crazy.
Jay Alvarado, let's not forget Indy was down 2 mid-fourth. Carlisle dropped the ball by not playing McConnell more in the fourth.
You know what? I agree with that.
Hallis should have sat, but definitely not over. AJ just wants to hit his bet. Well, that's true.
I agree with the McConnell thing. He should have been in. That might have been Carlisle's biggest regret.
I think he might have been worn out. Like they used him more. I mean,
maybe.
He's the reason they got even the game close.
I completely agree. And in hindsight, I'm sure Carlisle regrets that because that was a mistake. He was the one thing that was working for them because he could get on the dribble past his defender. He's really good that could do it.
But imagine this guy that I'm saying is overrated, and now everybody's saying, oh, yeah, Carlisle should have sat him for this undrafted free agent.
Well, he should have. I mean, he should have.
They should have played the undrafted free agent white guy instead. All right. I'm going to give some numbers on how overhyped we've made Indiana coming up next. Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
To the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Nigel, why does our office look like a casino?
I call it employee engagement.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to hit the jackpot on comfort with Quarter Moon's Lucky 7's AC tune-up. It's just $77 for a complete 7-point inspection.
Excuse me, bossman. I've got a good feeling about that slot machine next to your desk. Joel, I couldn't get an advance on next week's check, could I?
Call Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC and Heating for your Lucky 7's AC tune-up. Just $77. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates. Divorce is tough, but it's up to you to take control and avoid your spouse from dictating the terms. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about securing your assets, safeguarding what you've worked hard for, and avoiding unnecessary losses. Visit TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Imagine owning coastal land with ocean views and world-class fishing just off Matagorda Bay. Well, dream no more. Saturday, June 28th. Mark your calendars for a pre-4th of July one-day coastal land sale at Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point. We're unveiling incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1+ acre waterfront properties starting at $99.9. Yes, $99.9. With a barn dominium from just $169.9. Wow! This gated community boasts a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch with paved roads and underground utilities. It's all happening Saturday, June 28th. 1+ acre Texas coastal waterfront, $99.9. With barn dominium, just $169.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing is available. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Freedom starts with land, and land like this won't last long.
The Blitz will be live this Friday at Lion & Rose Dominion with your chance to win Seether and Daughtry tickets, some cool swag, and a $100 Lion & Rose gift card. It's this Friday starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 after the Dominion exit.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So, I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the...
Cashback is not
Not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SALE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SALE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SALE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots. 37 southbound, that on-ramp from Southton. The on-ramp is blocked. Vehicle fired. The fire itself has been extinguished. Disabled vehicle is still there. 281 southbound Josephine Grayson Street. This stall is now off to the shoulder, and another at 410 southbound at North WW White. Disabled vehicle has the right shoulder blocked. Starting to fill in, slow down, 90 eastbound, 211 over to 410. And on 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to O'Connor, that's some ongoing road work. Roadway reduced to one lane, causing about a 40-minute delay. Slow from FM 1518. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA Finals continued last night as the Oklahoma City Thunder hosted the Indiana Pacers, taking them down in Game 5, 120-109, behind SGA and J-Dubs combined 71 points. Game 6 in Indiana Thursday night, live right here. Big news for Texas State as they are a heavy favorite, according to ESPN sources, to be issued a formal invitation to join the Pac-12. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
7:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob on a Tuesday. The aftermath of Game 5. I walked away from this feeling like this is what it's supposed to look like. I was shocked that the Pacers took money before the game yesterday.
I felt like it would happen. I felt like there'd be some late money coming for the Pacers, and it would shrink a little bit.
I started thinking about, like, if it's warranted or not. And I looked at the season-long net rating for these teams. And because that's kind of how Vegas makes the spread. Yeah. It's generally a good rule of thumb.
This is where you were talking earlier about the black and white version of sports versus the
this is what
moderation.
I feel.
Or
this is
the reason we love sports is the extra.
The Thunder had a 12.7 net rating on the season.
So explain to me what the net rating is.
Net rating is how well your offense and defense play versus your opponent's offense and defense per 100 possessions.
Okay. Is that like the wins above replacement stat?
Very similar. Okay, very similar. To put it into perspective, a 12.7 is incredible, first of all. The next best was Boston at 9.4, Cleveland with 9.2. Then the fourth best was 5.0.
So a pretty big
drop.
That's what we've talked about all season long.
Like
there
were three teams that were dominant, and then there was the rest. The Pacers are 13th in the league in net rating, tied with the Detroit Pistons with a 2.1.
So 2.1. So if you had 100 possessions and you're playing another team, you would have
if they played a 100 possession game on average, the Pacers would win by 2 points.
By 2 points. So respectable, but that's not impressive.
That is, I mean, it's
in the top half of the league. I mean,
I mean, 0 is kind of that's like the line of demarcation. So you're above average, but not much above average. Is
it possible to have a winning record and be below 0?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So that's just you blow them out or you get blown out,
especially in the Eastern Conference because the East is so. I mean, you can win games and not be a good team. Yeah. So the Pacers 13th, the Lakers were 14th. The Orlando Magic were they were number 17. They were minus 0.2.
Okay, so 17. Oh, so you don't have to necessarily win. That just shows the fluctuation. You get blown out and you win close.
Yeah. I mean that works. Yeah. Or you just you lose all your games or you win all your games against your crummy competition and you lose your games against the better competition. You just happen to play more crummy competition. Right. But a good rule of thumb is like you take that net rating and you can almost do like minus so the Thunder's 12.7, the Pacers are 2.1, so you could go 10.5, and then you would add in home court advantage, which means like on average, if this were a regular season matchup, these games in Oklahoma City would be 12-13 point spreads.
Right. And we're running into the 9.5 because I got you. I mean, it makes
that's
sense.
where when I say like we've gotten so caught up in a couple of moments from Indiana that we're like changing the narrative of what they are all season.
That's what the postseason's for.
And there should be, and I'm not saying there shouldn't have been. There has to be some sort of an upgrade. And I agree with that. Now I would say I would have probably upgraded Indiana by a full point from the start of the playoffs from what they were coming into the playoffs, which is that's a lot. Like I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot.
I think that follows the same arc as those that looked at Halliburton as this, and by the end of the playoffs, he's that. It's a pretty good jump, probably more than we should have given him credit.
Well, then I think now it's starting like. Last night is certainly a way of leveling that off
and the
to what it should be.
That. Yeah, we in the annals of the NBA playoffs, we will remember Oklahoma City winning their first.
Yeah,
this will be their first, and we'll have to. Was it Indiana they beat? Because I remember Denver. That's what it'll be in hindsight when we look back on this year. We're going to remember big shots from Halliburton and Oklahoma City. And who did they beat again? Because they were good all year long. We thought they were going to win. It wasn't like. You look back on some of the Spurs titles and you go, who did they beat? Oh, yeah, they beat Brooklyn. Was Brooklyn any good? I guess that year they were. You know, I mean, yeah, they had, that's right, Jason Kidd. Yeah, 6 games. Yep. This feels very much, and Brooklyn evaporated, went into the ether. And Indiana could easily be that. Just into the vapor, gone, because they did catch lightning in a bottle for 3 weeks.
So Frank says Pacers beat the Cavs Celtics. So, well, first of all, they beat the Cavs. They didn't beat the Celtics. The Knicks beat the Celtics. But that's the thing. We get caught up in this moment of, okay, the Pacers did beat the Cavaliers. Does that mean the Pacers are a better team than the Cavaliers?
No.
If they played another 7-game series tomorrow, do you think that suddenly the Pacers would be favored to beat the Cavaliers in that series? They wouldn't. So, and that is kind of the great thing about sports is the black and white numbers don't always win out. But I believe in them for a reason because that the world of probability, which is the one thing I know is real. Like there are probabilities in the world, and like especially when you get massive amounts of data, if you're not following them or if you're actively pushing against them, that's how it works out. More often than not, you are wrong.
The trend is the trend, whether you think it's not or not. I get you.
So again, credit where it's due. Indiana has stepped up at the best time, and. You talked about it coming into the playoffs. They were playing their best ball of the season coming into the playoffs. The only team that was better than them in the last, month of the season was Oklahoma City.
The team that's beating the pants off. I think we're used to one conference being more competitive than another. I mean, that's pretty typical. And it used to be the West was easy. I'm talking about with the Lakers and Showtime. You'd have the Lakers skate through a playoff. They wouldn't get challenged. And then you watch Boston just have to fight from round 1. They had to get through Atlanta. And then they had to get through this. And then they had to get through that. So you had the battle-tested, there's nothing you can throw at us we ain't seen team versus the fresh and hot team. And it was just a matter of who was more ready. So and it made it okay for a bad regular season on one side because you figured at least they'll be rested and be competitive and we'll get a great finals. This year, who do you think? What was the toughest conference? We figured it was the West, right?
Oh, I think it was the West by far.
But in the playoffs, it didn't feel like that. In the playoffs, the East was a much tougher fight.
Well, that's because there was a juggernaut in the West.
Right. And so Oklahoma City had one Game 7, one tough series. They pantsed everybody else. In the East, we had a battle of a bunch of good teams. There wasn't a great one over there. We figured because the East would be so weak that Boston or Cleveland was going to roll in healthy and fresh. And even though they hadn't been tested or challenged, they were going to be ready. Yeah. And we didn't get that. We got a team that knocked off a team that was injured and another team knocked. And before you know it, you get a good team, but not the one anybody expected for any of the good reasons.
What people don't quite understand is that there are about 7, it may have been all 8 teams that made the playoffs in the Western Conference. If they were playing the Indiana Pacers in the finals, they would have been the favorite.
Yeah.
Any team that made the playoffs out of the West, the 8 seed Memphis Grizzlies would have been favored in a 7-game series over the Pacers. Now, whether or not they would have won, I can't say, but the odds would have said that they are the better team because over the course of the season they have it. I think the trade that happened this weekend between Memphis and Orlando, to me, is very telling of
how tough
the West is because the Grizzlies, who were the second, third best team in the West for a good chunk of the year, are selling because the way they were built was not good enough to win the West. And Orlando is willing to mortgage the future, way more of the future than you would expect Desmond Bane to be worth because they look at the East and go, this is an imminently winnable thing.
I see it imminent. I do.
Orlando might be the favorites to win the East going into next year. Like depending on what Cleveland does in the offseason, Orlando may be the favorites to win the Eastern Conference just because it's so gettable.
It's now or never. I completely get it. And I think you're absolutely right. And then when we look back, knowing this as we prepare for next year, yeah, we're prisoners of the moment. I mean, we receive the hype and we're excited about, maybe there's a miracle to be had. And I don't want to completely bury the Pacers. They still have a home game to get it to 7, but I don't think anybody is worried that Oklahoma City isn't going to win this. I think the money tells us, the vibe tells you it's going to be hard to get out. But as we get to next week and we just start talking about what the season, Indiana will be a distant story. They're going to fade into the past and retool, and they might be back. Heck, they're a pretty good team, but I think we're beginning something with Oklahoma City. I think you see this dynasty, and I think in the annals of time, in the arc of time, it'll be the beginning of something, and Indiana will just be the first of what were several. They were a good team, but nothing special to write home about.
Jason says, "What the hell is the series over? You guys sound drunk this morning."
It's over. It's over.
If you don't think it is, here's the deal: you can take $100 bill. Crisp $100 bill to Louisiana, put it on the table and say, I would like to predict that the Pacers will win the next 2 games. And if they do, they will give you back $1,000.
Think of that.
10-1 on your money.
Have you ever done learn basic CPR triage work for the Army? You ever know the term expectant?
Yeah.
Somebody comes across, and if you hear expectant, that's the doctor saying this dude's going to die.
Yes.
It might not happen now. It might not happen in the next minute, but there's no way we're going to save it. Yeah. Indiana's expectant. They're going to die. It's just how are they going to die? When are they going to die?
Yeah.
They're going to die.
Somebody was saying, I can't see where. Maybe it was Jay Alvarado. Spurs trade for Pascal over Durant. I'd take that contract.
Dude.
Similar.
So back when we got Jakob Poeltl and DeMar, the ask was we only wanted Pascal. We said we will send you anything you want along with
Kawhi.
Well, I was going to say Voldemort.
Yeah.
For Pascal. And they would not. They said no. No. Ime, what's their Zuri?
Yeah.
Knew what he had. And Pascal was young then.
Well, and the other thing to consider is Indiana is in the Eastern Conference. They were in the conference finals last year. They're in the finals this year. This roster that Indiana has is good enough to contend in the East.
They're not terrible, but they're going to be.
They're not looking to move away from Pascal Siakam.
No, but we tried to get him a couple of years ago. Yes, he is under. You want to talk about the most underrated player in all of basketball. Pascal kind of balances out that scale.
I don't think Siakam. I don't think the Pacers would have any interest in. I think the Pacers.
No, he's their dude.
I think the Pacers believe what I believe. That Pascal Siakam's the best player on their team.
Well, Carlisle knows what he's got. I mean, and he uses him a lot like he used Dirk. When I have to have a basket, let's just get it to him.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any world where the Pacers look to move on from Pascal Siakam. This is he's too good, man. He's a valuable piece, no doubt.
He just reminds me of a dude that I grew up with him, the archetype, wearing a military jacket, always asking for a cigarette. That's what he looks like. Just a little shaky, little questionable, just kind of standing around. That's what he looks like to me.
Jason, Pacers take Game 5 if Nembhard doesn't completely sell out in the fourth.
Oh, God, Nembhard was terrible last. And again, I'll say it, and everybody agrees. I'm not the first one to say this. The hardest thing to do in sports is to close out a home team. To go in there and take their money at the last game of the year is hard because the NBA wants a Game 7 too. So they're going in there at 5-on-7. You got to win this game. It ain't going to be given to you. The whistles aren't going to help you. You're not going to get a last-second free throw. Nothing like that's coming down the pike. You're going to have to go down swinging.
And like, G says it's going to be hilarious if the Pacers win the championship.
Oh, it will be.
Imagine the look on y'all's faces.
You're right, dude.
And Frank says, did OKC sweep the Pacers? No, but again, you got $100 wins you $1,000. It's real cool to sit on the internet and say, "Oh, the Pacers are going to win." Go put some money down. What 10-1? Who wouldn't want if you believe it? If you really believe it. But the truth is, Frank and G and Jason, you guys don't believe it. You don't really believe the Pacers are going to win this series because they are not as good as Oklahoma City. It's real simple. Like they're just not that good. And it's been a fun story. It's been a cool ride. But at the end of the day, like Rob said, the better team wins in 7-game series.
It's not going to take 7.
It's not. I don't
take
think
7.
it will, man.
This is over. We're talking about the beginning. We're just 4 days ahead of what the discussion's going to be for how many championships for Oklahoma. That's the conversation that needs to be had. How far can they take this team? Because this series, except for putting the period at the end of the sentence, is done. And if it changes, what we will have is the biggest collapse in NBA basketball finals history that I can remember in my 60 years of NBA fandom. I mean, nothing like this will have ever happened before. So if it happens, dude, you're right. We will look shocked and amazed and stunned and all those things that go along with something that will only happen once in a lifetime.
Jason, you can go. He says, drop the link to that 10-1, please.
Baby.
You can either go over to Louisiana or you get BetUS, Bet Online. I'm not recommending an offshore sports book, but if you want to play it, you can get 10-1. And here's the Frank, and yet they won 2 games. They did. They you know what? They fought hard. The craziest thing to me is people saying if Nembhard doesn't sell, they win Game 5. Like the biggest if the miracle of all miracles doesn't happen in Game 1, this thing's already over. And we're talking about if this. Like the biggest miracle was the fact that the Pacers won Game 1 and this series is still existing. But everybody wants to say, well, if just the Pacers cut it to 2 last night, and then they if Carlisle would have done this, or if Nembhard wouldn't have turned the ball over, it's like, dude.
Yeah, when you start adding those ifs up, you're out of time. And when you put things in a vacuum, you go, if he'd have done this, yes. But that's when you add up more than 3 ifs, it wasn't going to happen, man. It wasn't in the cards. It wasn't in the numbers. It was ordained to loss. This wasn't a miracle. It wasn't anti any stat or number. This is the way Oklahoma City expected to play for 4 straight games. And they got beat 1 time. I will give Indiana every bit of credit. That Game 3, They beat Oklahoma.
Where they shot like 80% from three.
What they had to do, whatever they had to do, they did it. That's the only game you can look back on as a Pacer fan and go, well, at least we had one, because it was a miracle in game one. It was a miracle. You get to keep it, you get to cherish it, but at the end of the day, it was just a miracle and not repeatable.
Frank says OKC blew a huge lead last night again. Except they won the fourth quarter.
They never gave up the lead, dude.
They won the fourth quarter. They didn't blow the lead. They let them back in the game, and then at the end, they put their foot on their throat.
Which is what we expected them to be able to do. That's what they had done all season long to teams better than the Pacers.
Yep. All right, let's take a break. I've been really bad at the clock today. Vic is very forgiving, though. He's a very forgiving.
He's a giving dude.
He's a very forgiving king. On No King's Day, Vic is my king. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
How you feeling this morning? Did you wake up feeling good, healthy, no painful things keeping you out of your life? If you are, carry on with your life. You're doing things right. But if you're like the rest of us, like me in particular, if you woke up this morning in pain that just won't let you go, I want you to call Arasti. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio. They're a very effective way of eliminating those things that just keep you out of your daily life. You know, life's too short to deal with those painful little things, and it might be even bigger than what I'm talking about. But if it's one of those strained muscles that won't let you do the things you got to get to do, maybe you rolled an ankle in a weekend pickup game and you need to get back in the game, or maybe it's some kind of long-term frozen shoulder or lower back issue. Let me tell you, Arasti can help, and they can help fast, and that's why they have so many repeat customers, because they do things quite differently. It's not a program that has to do with surgery. It's not about a pill that'll dull or hide the pain. It's about your body getting fixed and you feeling it immediately. Under 4 visits is the average length of time, an average number of visits for Arasti patients to get themselves back to where they want to be. So it's available and it's quick. So what do you need to know? The number, it's 1-800-404-6050. If you need a map of providers, there's one available. It's at Arasti.com. I bet there's a provider less than 10 minutes from where you are now. And here's the good news. I bet they'll see you today. You don't even need a referral. Call them, 1-800-404-6050. The website is Arasti.com. Don't let pain keep you from doing things you love. Call Arasti today. They're going to get you fixed, and I'm sure you'll come on by and thank me later.
Hey, have you heard this? Macy's is previewing our lowest prices of the summer on furniture and mattresses now before the sale starts Thursday. That means early access to July 4th deals on beautiful outdoor furniture sets, customer favorites like the Radley Sectional, and top mattress brands like Sealy, all at 20 to 65% off. So get to Macy's now to save big, beat the rush, and give yourself more time to relax on your brand new furniture from Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Guys looking for a Father's Day gift that will give that extra boost of health and energy to live your best life? Synergenics and Low T Center are offering free weight loss consultations and free T-test as a special offer celebrating dads. Treatment is personalized to you and most major insurance is accepted. With the freedom to choose in-center care or at-home treatment, you're helping get back control of your health. From now till June 21st, enjoy a free B12 shot when you stop in for a TRT and weight loss test. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning?
RV wins!
Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast?
RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Kinetico water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news, all those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Kinetico water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Kinetico only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Kinetico was built to work, not break. That's why a Kinetico is backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty, and right now receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Kinetico, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
KineticoSA.com.
License number 38961.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
You're at the stadium. Right below us, over yonder, there's a sign where you can buy mystery bowls.
I want to see what the hell they are, though.
You know, we're not talking about some morning show cat, I can tell you that, but those were a mystery to Mr. Hoffman.
The cat's balls?
I don't know if that was a mystery or an infatuation.
Yeah, I think it was an infatuation.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle 94.1. My old sugar daddy here, Rob.
Oh, there it is.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, because the Thunder covered 9 last night, you can have whatever you like, guys. That's what I told my wife last night.
Yeah, whatever you
I told my wife, I said,
shoes.
Patron on ice, you want that, baby? I got you. Wherever you like. Hey. Thunder in Game 6 are a 5-point road favorite. Totals 225, bumped up a little bit after last night went over
That's going to look
pretty easily.
That number will be, what is it at now, 5?
The number's 5. OKC -5.
It'll be 6 before they tip.
You think so?
6.5. Oh, yeah. Money's coming.
Money line, Pacers to extend the series plus 165.
I might take that. I wouldn't be anti that. It's a hard thing to do, man. It really is, and it's you have to be Herculean. And a lot of times, what happens is they give everything they've got to win Game 6, and they get it. They win, and then Game 7 is a blowout over in the third. I mean, so if you. Game 6 will be the last competitive thing, I think. If they go back to Oklahoma City, it ain't even going to be close, unless an injury or something strange happens. But I don't expect that. It's going to be hard for Indiana to do it. I'm not going to put it completely out of the realm. Before we go there, though, last night was the first time in like 8 years we got to, since a couple years, maybe 22, we got to see player intros.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to see that anymore.
No,
that was a wasted.
It's like a college thing. I don't know.
I legit was running around thinking tip was coming, and I get back in, it's on, and I have to sit through that. No, all I could do is just make fun of the whole thing. We don't need to see that anymore.
Here's something for you. I mentioned Oklahoma City minus 1,600 to win the series now. Pacers bring back plus 1,000. The latest MVP odds.
I wish I'd have jumped on it the day before I jumped on it, but where we sit now.
Shea minus 550.
So could J-Dub eat into this if he has another great game?
Jalen Williams is now the second favorite after all. I mean, basically it's been Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, then it was Siakam and Halliburton, one or the other, and then you'd get to Chet and J. Will. Now Jalen Williams plus 750, still a pretty long shot. I don't think there is a world where he gets it.
What did you take away from that performance last night?
I think that he is the kind of player that was due for a game like that. I think he's had generally an underwhelming season. He's underperformed in this series, and I knew a game like that was going to come out of him at some point.
I heard his coach talking about him, and when he's not scoring, he's still super valuable because of all the other things that he does. What do you truly see as his ceiling? Is he a Scottie Pippen type that he needs to be next to another?
Or he can't be the top dog, I don't think.
I don't know. I agree with you, but I do think I hate the comparisons to Scottie, but I think he might be the most comparable to Scottie since Scottie as far as a second, because he is really, really good and very talented. Now, he's streaky for sure, but some of the things he's capable of doing offensively, we're just seeing the beginnings of this. And because Shea is so capable of going and getting 30 a night, it has, and will continue to kind of, I'm not going to say squelch his game, but it will limit it, because I do think he's fully capable of being a 25 to 30 point a night guy.
Yeah.
And he won't be that as long as he's standing next to Shea. And you're going to have to accept that. And so far, I think he relishes it, because I also know he's around some people that are telling him the truth, that you can't do some of the things that you're doing unless you're playing next to Shea. You can't. Scottie wouldn't have become Scottie, but because Michael had the gravity to allow him to grow in a certain space. He didn't have to work as hard to look great. And I think Jay will, or J-Dub, depending on how you want to define him, gets to do some things because of Shea, but is also limited because of Shea as well.
I don't know how long it lasts, but right now it feels like Jalen Williams is perfectly fine playing the role that he's playing.
He would be a fool to ever leave for at least 4 or 5 more years. Now, he will eventually play on his own, just like Scottie did. You just don't get to pair up. It's hard enough for one guy to stay on the franchise, but to stay together. But I do think he has the right kind of mindset that he can sit and look around and go, this is a pretty good thing. This is pretty good. W's and rings certainly matter. It looks like they're going to pay him. He'll get the max amount, and he's going to get his just desserts as All-NBA, and he'll get all those awards, but he'll never be the best player on his team until he leaves.
It's just funny to think that, now we talk, is he like a Scottie Pippen? Like, somehow that's a negative.
It is. It's exactly.
It's crazy to think. Like, you're playing second fiddle, but to arguably the best player in the world. That's a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, but neither one of us is in that echelon to where, the effort that it takes just to get there and to look and go, I have worked and I'm capable. And I know I shouldn't want to leave, but I know up until this time, up until I met Shea, I was the best player in the room.
Yeah.
All my life.
Well, remember Jalen Williams went to Santa Clara. Jalen Williams was a late bloomer. He was not a very highly recruited guy. He was a guy who kind of developed into what he was.
And that's very Pippen-esque, man, coming from nowhere and really growing into it. He is a supremely gifted player who is still raw, man.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he pulled off last night, you could tell he'd worked on it. Others, it was just physical ability.
Chris says Chet getting yammed on was great. That Naismith dunk, the broadcast team blew it completely, because I don't know that they realized, and they were like, I think that went in. And it's like, yeah, it went in.
Put his arm through the rim.
And then they showed, and it wasn't a very awesome moment. If it had the broadcast team sold it, it would have been even better. Like, if you were trying to play back that highlight, it'd be very underwhelming. But also, that's an offensive foul.
His hand on his shoulder.
He literally shoved Chet down to jam on him.
It's a good vet move.
It is, and if it doesn't get called, awesome. But when they showed it in all the slow-mo replays, really kind of lessened the impressiveness of it to me. And Chet turned around and was like, what the hell?
He's man, he's at my hand.
Guy using me like a booster stool.
Well, that was the sole moment that should keep Naismith from going and committing harikari, because, dude, you are freaking roasted. He was cooked, done like a brisket by the end of that night. He had been destroyed.
Yeah, he did not have a good day.
It's been a long time since I've seen one guy give up 40. I mean, I think every bucket that he got last night was on Naismith.
It was damn near. I mean, the fadeaway in the fourth quarter that it looked like they stopped him, and then he just separated, and that is a And I think they mentioned it in the broadcast that it looked like a Jordan play.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm obviously not putting them in the same category, but it looked like a Jordan play. And last night was a Jordan-type night from Jalen Williams.
Naismith got a front row seat to a spectacular performance, man.
Yeah, he was. He felt like Craig Elo last night.
Oh, seriously, man. The film is going to be brutal.
It is. That's a game. That's a game they're going to look back at and go, "What did
you got roasted, brother?" I mean, go back and watch the highlights. It really it wasn't magnified the way some TV types might have, because it really was that bad.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, we mentioned that there was a time where they cut this to a 2-point game in the fourth quarter, but
there's always a run in the NBA.
It felt like
always.
It felt like McConnell was fantastic. Obi Toppin for at least about a 6-7 minute span was like McConnell and Toppin took over the game for about a 5 to 10 minute span.
Mm-hmm.
I think they scored like 20 points in a row between the two of them. But between those two guys and Siakam, nobody else had a good game. Like it was the Nesmith was bad. Miles Turner was.
He had a couple of threes earlier, but he was not a difference maker.
Nimhart was bad. Tyrese was obviously bad. It was a weird. And Ben Mathurin was awful.
Yeah. Oh. One assist, man. Pass the ball, brother.
Yeah.
But all that, they're still within 2 with 3 minutes to go. And some of it is Carlisle's offense. It's good to better, so nobody's ever going to separate unless it's, the first guy with the ball. I think if he had, in hindsight, I'd make sure Siakam, I think in Game 6, Siakam's going to get a lot of shots, and McConnell's going to play a lot more. I mean, I think Nimhard's going to spend some time on the bench, and I think they're going to try to they talked a little bit about it during the game. Is Indiana, in their effort to speed the game up, playing too fast? Are they going so fast that they're turning the ball over? I disagree with that sentiment. They have to play that fast. They just got to stop turning the ball over. I mean, don't turn the ball over, but you're going to have to get behind them. If you don't get behind them and get easy layups like McConnell was doing, you can't compete with them. You cannot. If there's more than one guy back on defense and guarding you, you're in trouble. They're too good. You're playing 5-on-7. There's too many hands. They break up too many passing lanes. They know how to fight through picks. You've got to beat them to the rim.
McConnell has not played. He played 22 minutes last night. That is, he's not played more minutes than that. You have to go back to March 17th in an overtime game against Minnesota. He played 30 minutes.
Well, his problem is he's a liability on defense. He's a mouse in the house, and anybody he's guarding, he's giving up 4 or 5 inches, and they immediately take him to the paint. I mean, it's just – I think you had to have him in there for the offense, but you can't have him in crunch time because he's going to be the victim.
And
unless Naismith's running around.
There's an asterisk by that because Halliburton didn't play in that game against Minnesota, so that's why he got 30 minutes. He's not like everybody's saying he should have had more minutes. Like 22 minutes is a load for that dude. That's a lot of time.
He's a one-trick pony. Now his trick was working last night.
It worked last night, but yeah, I don't know. But even he was turning the ball over too.
Well, I think part of the strategy last night was we have to get our three-point shooters open, and the only way we're going to be able to do that is quick touches. We're going to have to move the ball fast, which leads to turnovers, or we're going to have to get the ball into their guts and get it out for an open three. And so I kept watching every guard. It was Nimhard. It was McConnell. It was all of them dribbling into this freaking crowd of hands where they got there, yes, but they couldn't get the ball out. They couldn't get it, and they couldn't dribble it anymore. And immediately upon turning, they were jumping passing lanes. It was a defensive masterpiece, man. They did what 4 on-ball defenders do. They just squashed them.
SR said got it down to 2 within 2, and then the turnovers 4 in a row. I want to address that on the other side. Morning Huddle 94.1.
Dr. Jacob Torres is my doctor. The Institute for Functional Health is far more than just a general practice, though. If you go into the IFF, first of all, man, what a great staff. Everybody excited to be there because they're doing great things with people. Weight loss is just part of what they do because the Institute for Functional Health focuses on all of it. So whether it's aesthetics or weight loss or just your general day-to-day medicine, they are your one stop. I want to talk to you about their weight loss program because it flows into their entire mentality there. There is health and then there's functional health. How do you feel? I don't care what doctors are telling you. Do you feel good? Do you feel better? And if you do, you're on the right track. And that's been the key with me. My success is rooted in there because I walked in to meet Dr. Torres and I didn't feel good. I didn't feel healthy. Heck, I was 300 pounds, couldn't sleep, hungry all the time, chasing caffeine and sugar. That was my life. He got me off that, got me changed, and turned around. That was nearly 9 years ago. I'm 70 pounds down. I continue to lose, but the key is I learned how to live with my food cravings, and everything beneficial followed. I don't eat as much. I'm sleeping better. I've lost weight. I'm off medication, and I want that for you. Call Dr. Torres today. It's easy, 210-468-1891. His website is iffhealth.com, a valuable resource. When it's time to lose weight, when you want to feel better, I want you to call Dr. Torres. Change your life, and when you do, come on by with your skinny self and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are showing delays on 35 southbound Olympia Parkway on down to O'Connor, and that's due to road work. Roadway reduced to one lane. It's about a 40-minute delay, so look out, O'Connor. Those are good alternate routes. On 281 southbound at Josephine Grayson Street, that stall now off to the shoulder. 37 southbound, the on-ramp from Southton. The on-ramp still blocked with a vehicle that was on fire. It has been extinguished. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, do give us a call on the traffic tip line at 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. Rocket.com is the new home for all things home ownership. Whether you're buying your first home, finding your next one, or unlocking home equity to fund one of your dreams, there's only one destination that has everything you need to get started, all under one roof. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Gomez Law Firm has been fighting for the rights of San Antonians for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here. What is something you see often as a personal injury attorney and protecting your clients?
The one thing we always see without fault in a case is that the insurance company will always reach out to them soon after the collision and they try to get them to agree to a low settlement. They try to get them to agree to signing a piece of paper. They want them essentially to sign their rights away without ever even consulting with an attorney, right? In the grand scheme of things, if you sign a piece of paper, you're signing your future interest away. So that's why it's so important to call the Gomez Law Firm, because we make sure we protect your rights, and you're not signing your life away, you're not signing your rights away.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then call the Gomez Law Firm first. 210-736-4040 or visit joegomezlaw.com. Protect your family and protect your rights.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
The Blitz will be live this Friday at Lion & Rose Dominion with your chance to win Seether and Daughtry tickets, some cool swag, and a $100 Lion & Rose gift card. It's this Friday starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 after the Dominion exit.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District knows that life moves fast, and the last thing you want is to miss out due to an illness. Vaccines are safe and help your immune system fight off serious disease that can stop or change your plans. They protect you, the people you love, and can prevent you from getting sick. Let's get vaccinated, because when it comes to your health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, all the reaction to what was a big Game 5 in OKC.
Plus, the Cowboys, while on vacation until Oxnard, always something to talk about. We'll do that with Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk at 5:15.
And what rumors involving the Spurs are there today?
Kevin Durant. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, yeah. I'm a slave to this audio.
I guess that means something. Who is this?
Audio slave.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good old Chris Cornell.
This is not who. I thought it was somebody else. Who was Cornell with before?
Soundgarden.
That's who I thought this was.
Yeah,
I thought this was Soundgarden.
This is Chris Cornell with all the guys from Rage Against the Machine. Because
I did not know
the
that.
singer from Rage Against the Machine was like, I don't want to do music anymore. So the other three guys got with Chris Cornell and made Audio Slave.
Well, look what happened to Chris.
He's dead.
Not good.
And now Rage Against the Machine plays together again.
See? What's the lead singer for Rage?
Zach De La Rocha.
Zach took the right day off.
That's right. That is right. All right, 7:46 on the Morning Huddle. Talked about the turnovers being the factor last night. But that's what this team does. That is how they are built. This is the third season in a row that Oklahoma City has led the league in forced turnovers. You know how hard it is 3 years in a row to do that? It's never been done before in the NBA.
And you know, for a league like the NBA, which maybe not as much as the NFL, but all the leagues are copycat leagues. You know, baseball, you see guys with like 9 middle relievers and they win and go, oh, we need to do that. And then in football, you're looking for the Mahomes-style offense. And nobody's trying to emulate what OKC is doing. No, I don't understand why more teams don't go, you know what, we don't need to trade for a bunch of stuff. Let's just draft a bunch of dogs and we'll figure it out.
I mean, you have to commit to it.
Well, you got to be on, and it's boring. It's not the most, and it takes a minute.
Yeah.
But if you look at, and you know, Indiana is kind of on the same premise here. We don't have to have number 1, number 2, number 3 draft picks. We just got to take our time and build our team. And for an NBA that is such a copycat league, I'm just surprised that more teams don't go, you know what? It would be cheaper if we did it this way.
You say that, but then the problem comes when you're the GM.
Oh, I know where you're at.
Now it's like, okay, now is the time where I've got to pay Lou Dort or Alex Caruso, and now suddenly I'm paying these guys a lot of money.
No, you're right.
Relative to what they really are, like to other teams. They're so much more valuable to you than they are to another team, but NBA players think, I'm worth this.
I got to go.
This
get
is
it.
what I should get.
And I don't blame him. But the predicate to this conversation should be, to do this, you have to have Sam Presti. First, go get Sam Presti and let him build your franchise and give him an 8-year deal. And at the end of the day, you'll probably have a very good basketball team. But you're going to have to go through the process, and it's boring to do that.
The other thing that's really convenient is you can have a bunch of defense-first dogs when you have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
I should say, if you want to be a great team, go get Sam Presti and have him trade for Shea Gilgeous.
Yes.
If you want to have a great team, go name your coach, Pop, and have him get a Tim Duncan. And then it gets easy. It's like those real estate weekend shows where they go,
free money.
You want to make $1 million? First, get $1 million.
Free money, guys.
So, but there is something to just living with your general manager and trusting that he can go get guys. And just, you know what, this year ain't going to be it. But we're going to get better. And next year ain't going to be it. We're not going to do anything stupid, but we're going to build a great team. And I guess it's probably easier said than done. But it just appears to me, as owners are skinflints and they want to get all the money, this would be the easiest way to say, hey, look, we're just copying Oklahoma City. I'm going to take a bunch of undrafted, low-drafted dudes, and over a period of 5 years, I'm going to mold them into a team. And I only need to get one superstar to get there.
Let me introduce you to the Golden State Warriors dynasty.
Well, yeah,
I mean, but all those guys were underdrafted.
But
one of them happened to hit.
There's 3 are Hall of Famers.
Yes,
now.
but one of them happened to become a otherworldly superstar, just like they're doing here.
Shea. Yeah, no, you're right. There are certain things that it's always going to be the players. Never mistaken. Stars win. But there is when I look at what the Spurs did, and then you look at what the Golden State Warriors did thereafter, and maybe Oklahoma City about to do the same thing. The ongoing thread was built, not bought, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, appropriate early moves and just draft appropriately and hang on to that group like grim death, knowing full well guys are going to want raises and leave.
It is always about the players, but you're right. I mean, San Antonio and Golden State are the two best examples of it. It's one thing to have a bunch of picks. It's another to pick the right guys. And you've got to pick the right guys, and it can't just be picking Tim Duncan number 1 or I got the first pick. Okay, I'll take LeBron James. That's the easiest thing. The hard thing is finding Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, to go with those guys and then keeping them together. The hard part is finding Draymond Green in round 2 or Klay Thompson late in the lottery. That's not easy to do. And quite frankly, it's hard to take a chance on a guy like Steph Curry that a bunch of other people were passing on and then develop him into
and have the
best offensive player ever.
2 coaches.
Yeah.
And to be able to maintain that, and you go, well, why doesn't this happen more often? Because it seems pretty damn easy. The formula is apparent.
And on top of all of that, they all have to want to play together and get along. And
the witchcraft of drafting the best player available, switching from that to the best player for me, is such a fine. At what point do you go, I know, and the Spurs aren't there. They're not there, but I know we got a guy that looks like that, but he's the best player. We got to continue to grow to the point where you go, but I don't need that. I want that, but I don't need it. And I have the wherewithal either to move the pick or pick somebody that might not be the most popular, but it is the most appropriate for us.
That's the thing. What was Tony, like the 28th, 29th pick, something like that. Tony Parker, I don't know where what he would have been if, let's just say, for instance, I know right around there, I don't remember exactly how far apart they were, but just a couple picks later, Gilbert Arenas got drafted. Now imagine the Spurs took Gilbert Arenas, and
what would happen to Parker?
Does Tony Parker become Tony Parker?
And does Gil Arenas be a 4-time ring winner?
So a lot of it is to do with where you end up and the culture of the team that you end up with. I don't know if Jalen Williams would be this somewhere else. Quite frankly, I don't know if Chet would be okay as the second pick in the draft playing third fiddle on another team.
True.
And you have to get guys who are okay and know their roles. And that is, it really is kind of witchcraft to make it work.
We all try to define where do you go from the numbers to the heart, and this is just the better team for us. And I know we all try to bottle it, but it amazes me that Oklahoma City is going to have the best team in the league next year and have maybe the 10th highest payroll. And they're not even close to coming to the payroll that some of these other teams have, and they got years before they got to worry about it. They really do. They've got years before genuine salary cap issues start. Now they're going to lose a Caruso along the way, and they might lose a Dort along the way, but they're not going to lose all of them, and they're going to replace them with guys that can do exactly that. And the fandom and all of that will go, yeah, that's a good guy to go get, even though he might not have been the best guy. He's our guy.
Yep.
And it's hard to get to that point. And Oklahoma City's there. From here on out, this is the team, and it's just about maintaining the edges.
Here's a list. Here's a list of teams that have more available cap space going into next year than Oklahoma City. Utah, Charlotte, Brooklyn, Chicago, San Antonio.
And keep in mind,
end list.
They're essentially going to have 2 number 1 picks show up next year because their number 1 last year didn't even play.
So think about that. 5 teams that are nowhere near the playoffs. I guess Chicago almost got forced into them, but there's a lot of bottom of the barrel teams there. I get the Spurs have an up arrow, but the Thunder are the best team in the league, and they've got room to grow.
A bank account.
Yeah, It is a rare thing we are seeing unfold here. We are halfway there, friends, halfway there on the Morning Huddle. Got some more. We'll talk some NFL coming up in the next hour, too. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Up.
The Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. Rocket.com is the new home for all things home ownership. Whether you're buying your first home, finding your next one, or unlocking home equity to fund one of your dreams, there's only one destination that has everything you need to get started, all under one roof. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
A lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about MediShare, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And MediShare works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ-Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Most protein bars are packed with sugar, carbs, and unpronounceable ingredients. There's a much better option. I'm Will, and I crafted IQ Bar plant protein bars with clean, functional, delicious ingredients to empower doers like you with superior brain and body fuel.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
Out here, you get your hands dirty. You get to work and finish the long summer day knowing you made it count. Whether it's cutting the grass, picking the garden, firing up the grill, or washing your dog, you get things done. It's the small stuff that adds up to this life you love. At Tractor Supply, we know that feeling. And we've got the supplies and friendly advice you need to get the most out of every day, all summer long. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke, like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
And Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot on 151 eastbound Loop 410, west side of town. This wreck has you stop and go from Hunt Lane, so tack on at least an extra 10 minutes to your commute. On I-10 eastbound at Wurzbach, disabled vehicle now off to the shoulder. Definitely slowing down now along 35 southbound Schertz Parkway on down to 410, about a 15-minute commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA Finals continued last night as the Oklahoma City Thunder hosted the Indiana Pacers, taking them down in Game 5, 120-109, behind SGA and J-Dubs combined 71 points. Game 6 in Indiana Thursday night, live right here. Big news for Texas State as they are a heavy favorite, according to ESPN sources, to be issued a formal invitation to join the Pac-12. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Here we go. 8:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Claymore Pacers had 22 turnovers. Yep. And it's the one thing they have been great at all year, taking care of the ball. They are, I think, fourth in the league in turnovers committed, least turnovers committed. Of course, OKC is first in least turnovers committed and first in turnovers forced, which is problematic.
You know, there's turnovers and then there's turnovers. There's live ball turnovers, and then there's the stupid dead ball stop the clock turnovers. And they're victims of both, but more importantly, the dumb kind of turnovers, the ones that lose you games. Dead ball turnaround, 4-point swing turnovers. They were the worst kind last night. There's sins of commission. Yeah, if you're trying to make a pass, sometimes it's an acceptable risk. They were doing the dumb ones.
Well, I'm not going to, McConnell did a lot right last night, But on that jump ball with Shea where he whiffs the tip and then ends up fouling Shea on a jump ball and they get free throws out of it. Like and then he acted like he couldn't believe it. It's like, dude, you just did it. That's a foul.
Yes.
Like you can't do that. And I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but he whiffed on the tip or on the tip. And again, there's a guy who's, how many times is he practicing doing tips? Not many, but it's little things like that will kill you.
And it's 19 turnovers, but if 10 of them were sins of commission, you were trying to get something and you got back and you defended and it just turned out a wash, that's okay. Dead ball, stop the clock, shoot free throws. They make 2, you go down, miss, and then they hit a 3, and it's a 5-point swing because you did something stupid. That's when you lose games.
Well, the 22nd turnover was the most important one for me.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
That was the one where it was like if they got a shot there, some people were pushing, some people were losing. I was losing because I got the early number. I got 9.5 and ended up at 9. But because they turned it over right there, Caruso dribbles out the clock and the Thunder win by 11.
That was me last night. Very rarely am I really paying attention to the spread, but I was genuinely tense last night when they cut it to 2. I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. I'm finally playing the spread. I finally bought into this, and they're not going to cover. Yeah. Really?
Well, they got the job done. But this is one where, I mean, the final score was not indicative. This was a closer game than that. At least the second half was close, but a lot of it was, and it's easy to forget sometimes how the first half played out. The Pacers were garbage in the first half. They were almost non-competitive in the first half.
They were on fast forward. It was jittery hands.
And by the time they settled in, that's the thing. It's once you dig yourself a hole like that, it's so hard to dig out of, and you do everything right, and you get within 2, and then you turn it over 4 times in a row. And all that work you did, I mean, imagine the deflation of that.
And keep in mind, they're going against squelching defense. So not only have you been successful against the effort it takes, the focus, because these are ants on an ice cream cone, man. They're coming from everywhere, and you have to stay so dialed in for so long that you just can't. And 4 turnovers happen like that. I mean, within 60 seconds, you had 4 turnovers. So credit where it's due. And again, I think there's a lot of back patting for guys like me when we finally got to see the Oklahoma City team that we thought we were going to get. Yeah. Like, there it is, finally. That last week that I just couldn't figure out what I was looking for and why things were happening, last night it all came into focus. That's the team I expected to see.
I'll say, Claymore says, no different than Siakam getting fouled by Chet pulling his jersey, and OKC wanted a replay. Well, no, Chet wanted a replay.
Chet wants a replay.
I got to tell you.
Stop it.
I think Mark Daigneault is like, if Chet does this.
There's one more. If he stop it.
Daigneault doesn't even pay attention. He already knows you fouled him, Chet. Like, yeah, like I'm not. You've cried wolf enough. Mark Daigneault knows not to believe anything Chet says about wanting a replay.
And I don't like it, but the greatest player to ever play in this great city never committed a foul in his 20-year career. Tim, his whole career. Thank God he didn't have the replay, or we'd have the memory of him doing this instead of hugging the ball, because he would have called for a replay every time.
He did the ball hug, and he did this, the hands together, but going away.
What? Come on, Tim. No. So, Chet, stop it.
Yeah, stop it. Come on. That's not we know, okay? Well, let's stop it. I saw a story on CBS, the panic meter for NFL teams that have guys holding out. How worried should they be about these star players holding out? Trey Hendrickson's at the top of the list. They say panic level for Trey Hendrickson, high. Of these holdouts, this feels the most venomous.
Yep.
The Bengals spent the offseason securing Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Mike Gesicki to long-term extensions. Hendrickson's still without a deal. He led the league last season in sacks at 17.5. He's entering the final year of his deal, and no such deal has come across the table. In fact, Hendrickson himself noted earlier this offseason that the situation has become personal. That's never a good thing. Rather than using collaboration to bring me home to the team, they are no longer communicating, is what he said last month. Now, we do know since then, apparently they reached out to him on Monday, still no movement on a deal. They did allow him to seek a trade back in March, but that deal hasn't come. Now they're probably going to end up losing him for nothing.
And might end up losing a year.
I don't think they'll do that because then they'll toll the year, and then he's got to play. He's in the same spot next year. It really is an ugly
when
thing.
Was the last player to actually test? Was it Chris Johnson? I saw
CJ2K.
Was it him? What did murder suspect Antonio Brown? How long did he hold out? Didn't he? Or was it running back? It was the running back that held out.
Rashard Mendenhall.
So yeah,
was that
out.
him?
No, it wasn't him.
No, it was the Steelers running back. What was his name? From Michigan State.
Yeah, almost held out for 8 games, but came back. Because this feels like Henderson ain't going to ever put on the helmet for Cincinnati again. Like, I'm just not going to do it.
I can't remember. I don't know why I can't. Oh, Le'Veon Bell.
There it is. Le'Veon. Was it
Le'Veon
8
Bell was
games
the last one. Yeah.
So
and then he came back and he was never the same.
And never the same. So you can't afford to lose this time. But I can't imagine that Cincinnati will come to the table and finally make Henderson feel even remotely satisfied.
I mean, they're in a. It's like you said. It's gotten personal now. What can you do? Pittsburgh Steelers. T.J. Watt entering the final year of a 4-year, $112 million deal. At the time, made him the highest paid defensive player in the league. He makes $28 million per year. He is the 9th highest paid defensive player in the league. 6 of the players ahead of him are making at least $30 per season, including Myles Garrett, who has now hit the 40 per year mark.
Do you have any doubt that TJ will not get paid around $40 million?
I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, he's been top 4 defensive player of the year the last 2 seasons. Like, if he's falling off, it's very slightly.
If Pittsburgh manages to sign Aaron Rodgers and alienate T.J. Watt in the same offseason, everybody got to get fired. You got your priorities way out of whack.
Now, the other thing about the Steelers situation is when you go get a 41-year-old quarterback, you say, we believe we can win right now. Well, I would venture to say that the entirety of Pittsburgh's potential success hinges on their defense because Aaron Rodgers sucks. And quite frankly, the Steelers' offense in general is about as
So what's the panic level for Pittsburgh?
They are, it says here, medium. Medium panic.
I can't imagine a world where Pittsburgh does not have him signed rolling in on a gold Rolls Royce for training camp. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Now it says, meanwhile, had Pittsburgh done this extension sooner, it would have been at a cheaper number. And if more pass rushers like Hendrickson and or Micah Parsons ink deals before Watt, it only further complicates things because the Steelers the money's going to keep going up, and T.J. Watt's going to go like, okay, yeah, I'm these guys. Like, I deserve everything they're getting.
And Pittsburgh ain't Dallas. Jerry's used to this. Jerry's very accustomed to writing giant checks because he waited too long. That's part of his design. Pittsburgh, they're going to have to pay him, and they're going to pay him before Micah gets paid. They're crazy if they let this happen.
Terry McLaurin, it says this might be the most head-scratching holdout of the bunch. When McLaurin and the Commanders finally secured an elite young quarterback in Jane Daniels, he put together the best season of his career, 13 touchdowns, 70% catch rate. So why are the Commanders fussing around with the contract, especially when they have the cap space and a quarterback playing on his rookie deal? The wide receiver market has ballooned to where elite pass catchers are in the $30 million per year range, with guys like Jamar Chase topping out at $40 million per year, a little over $40 million per year. But McLaurin looks like they're probably looking at a deal similar to DK Metcalf, got about $33 million a year. But the Commanders realize, I think now, what they've got in Jaden Daniels, and they know that they've got to keep that developing. He's going to get paid. It says here panic level low.
Yeah,
I tend to agree with that. I can't see a world, because the Commanders do have the money to do it, and they do have a quarterback that they're paying nothing to.
I will ask this question. It's probably a little outrageous, but is it possible that at the end of the day, Scary Terry is just Bobby Trees, Robert Woods? That he's really good, but really, he's not a number one. He's not going to lead a great team. And if he bounces around and he's not in the perfect situation, it might not work out. I don't believe that to be the case. But is there a question that maybe he ain't that?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think he's pretty. I
like
don't know.
him.
I mean, is he Jamar Chase? No, but 1,100 yards and 13 touchdowns.
I think they should pay him. But when I see a team that's reticent, that sees a guy that he's been a team guy, he's been Mr. Commander. I mean, I can't imagine a more dyed-in-the-wool team dude than Scary Terry over the last 5 years. But I mean, maybe he's played. Why the hesitation? I mean, it just seems unnatural. A great wide receiver bringing along this young wide receiver, young quarterback, and you're waiting to pay him?
It does feel weird, especially, like I said, because they've got the money to do it. And the thing about him is he still seems like he's getting better.
He beat us. I mean, he's beat us more than once, so no, I like him.
Not really a young guy, but still seemingly got some up arrow next to him. I don't
know what he's asking for, but I can't imagine the Commanders starting the season without McLaurin out there being the number one option.
I mean, it seems like every year 1,100. Like that's what he does pretty much. And then this year to tack on 13 touchdowns to it, which his previous high was 7.
See, that sounds like Robert Woods to me. I mean, he's really good, but he was, I wonder if he was playing someplace else. We see that the Emperor doesn't have all the clothes we thought he had. I don't know. I liked him, and
Robert Woods was good for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, let's not besmirch
No,
what he.
I'm not. But I mean, we're talking about paying this guy $40 million a year, so maybe he ain't worth that.
Yeah, it feels to me like a who's the other guy that has been at the Texans, was with the Saints for a long time, gets passed around, gets traded for a first-round pick every year.
Brandon Cooks for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks.
Good
it
guy.
feels kind of like that.
We love him. Glad to have him. Will you take him? Will you trade him? Oh, yeah, we'll trade him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Terry McLaurin might be that.
I think he's better. I do. I think he's better than that. I just think that I can't imagine a situation. He's not going to get 40, but he's going to get paid.
He's going to do okay. I agree with that. So, I think the panic level should be low for him. All right, let's hit a quick break. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Alex, hello. We've been trying to track you down. I don't know if you've noticed that. Do you have any idea why? Something to do with the radio thing. Every month we're doing a giveaway. GiveMeTheVin.com.
Giveaway? What you giving away, man?
$25,000.
Alex Jackson of Pensacola, Florida is the latest winner of Give Me the Vin's Big Cash Giveaway.
Are you for real?
Every time that you sell a car to Give Me the Vin, you go into a drawing for that month. And, dude, you won.
That's great, man. I'm having a baby boy in about 3 months. That's a lot of diapers, man.
Name him John Clay.
Okay.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff.
Now we can chill, Mom.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQBar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Most protein bars are packed with sugar, carbs, and unpronounceable ingredients. There's a much better option. I'm Will, and I crafted IQBar plant protein bars with clean, functional, delicious ingredients to empower doers like you with superior brain and body fuel.
Now you can get 20% off all IQBar products plus free shipping when you text IQBar to 64,000. That's IQBar to 64,000.
Out here, you get your hands dirty. You get to work and finish the long summer day knowing you made it count. Whether it's cutting the grass, picking the garden, firing up the grill, or washing your dog, you get things done. It's the small stuff that adds up to this life you love. At Tractor Supply, we know that feeling. And we've got the supplies and friendly advice you need to get the most out of every day, all summer long. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, all the reaction to what was a big Game 5 in OKC.
Plus, the Cowboys, while on vacation in Tel Oxnard, always something to talk about. And we'll do that with Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk at 5:15.
And what rumors involving the Spurs are there today?
Kevin Durant. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
I'll stop the world. Morning Huddle 94.1. Pleasure says McLaurin basically Ayuk. It might be.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Brandon Ayuk getting the money he got, though, is still one of the most fascinating things to me that's ever happened. Like, for a team like San Francisco who had real great players to pay, the fact that they chose to pay him what they did is mind-boggling to me.
Debo?
Yeah. And you know what? Who knows? Who knows what Debo's going to be now?
I like Ayuk. I feel like we're downgrading a dude that's pretty talented. Good kick
he's
returner.
okay.
Good.
He's fine.
He's a guy I'd want on my team.
Would you rather have him or McLaurin?
Well, the only thing that's different between him and McLaurin is I can return a kick, but no, McLaurin's a better receiver. I'm not going to take that away.
I ain't paying top-tier receiver money for a kick returner.
Oh, not just a kick returner, but you fill in a little. He's younger. Give him that.
All right. Yeah, I think that was a crazy contract, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out for him. We'll see how it works out.
Those are things you get to do when you haven't paid your quarterback yet. You get to overpay other teams.
And now they have. Now they've reached
that critical mass has now been reached.
Okay.
You get 3 years, and after that, you've got to pay the piper.
Brock Purdy's got money now. Now what's going to happen? How's it going to work out now? In fact, George Kittle had to come out and defend Brock Purdy, and that's always good. It's always nice when
we are all just poised to watch him collapse, aren't we?
We're
really
all
just waiting for Mr. Irrelevant to become what he was, Mr. Irrelevant.
George Kittle says he said he heard the noise about the quarterback. He said, I don't know what his winning percentage is, but when you win a lot of games and you only need 2 years to go to the NFC Championship or better, I think that's decent.
Truth.
One of my favorite things that I've heard is everyone calls him a check down merchant. And then the last 2 years, he's had the least amount of check downs as a starting quarterback. So I think he's doing pretty well. He is the 7th highest paid quarterback, $181 million total guaranteed money, $165 coming in the first 3 years, $100 million fully guaranteed at signing.
God. For Brock Purdy.
This is Purdy said that he didn't want to take every penny for himself, indicating that he may have left money on the table to help the 49ers shore up the roster around him. He said, I don't know if there was a narrative of Brock's going to take a pay cut because he's a nice guy or this or that. But for me, man, I play in the NFL. There's 32 starting quarterbacks, and it's not the easiest job in the world. And for me, with what I've done and everything, I can hang my hat on the fact that I've had some success in this league, and I'm capable of leading an organization all the way to the end, the Super Bowl. I've proved that.
I'm good enough, and I'm fast enough. And dang it, people like me.
Boy, as the roster continues to regress, write this down, Vic.
Got it. Talk to me.
2 years from today, I want to discuss whether or not Brock Purdy was a ridiculous signing or not. Because I'm saying now it's ridiculous.
Okay. It's a crazy number.
It is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Now, as we'll set the timer, we'll put it on the calendar. What are we going to judge him against? Who are we looking for him to become, or who are you most afraid he might become?
Let's see. NFL quarterback salaries.
What's his highest aspiration as a quarterback, and his most likely comparable on as the best Brock Purdy and the worst Brock Purdy?
I think at his best,
Phil Simms.
I mean, I guess that's probably doable.
I'm trying to figure of a guy who's going to be surrounded by talent, who's going to be pulled along by his coach. You know, he's not going to ever surpass the knowledge and the skill set of his coach.
The best case scenario. You know what? He's not. I don't think he can be that good. Even I was going to say Jared Goff. He might be like a poor man's Jared Goff.
But you know, I think apart from the high draft status that Goff had.
Yeah.
But as far as career, I think Goff might be an applicable NFL career arc.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's
because he's. I mean, I hate to use another coach speak, but he's not a thermostat. He's a thermometer. He's never going to set the temperature, but he will reflect the temperature of the team. So, what do you pay a quarterback like that? Because if the team is great as a thermometer, he's going to look great.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you quantify other than he's going to be guided by the best offensive mind in football. He's going to have at least top 10 caliber talent around him. So you better live up to it, brother. You've got everything required.
We will see.
He ain't going to live up to it.
I don't believe he's that.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to live up to it, no.
But
the expectation should be there.
I've been wrong before.
No, I think realistically he's going to have a nice little stint as a starter. He'll get that little Garofalo run.
Yeah.
And we're all going to realize, you know what? Yeah. You're good, but you ain't worth this. And eventually he'll leave the 49ers getting all of the $100 million guaranteed, but not much more.
I think the reason the biggest mistake, this is such a big mistake for the 49ers because the way they've maintained what they have is they haven't had to pay a quarterback top tier money because Kyle Shanahan's been able to take mid-level quarterbacks and turn them into better than what they are.
And they lost themselves because what Shanahan has always wanted was a better quarterback. Well, the fact of the matter is the reason you're great is you can function without one, and that's why you're worth the money. A lot of guys can coach a great quarterback. I don't need you to do that. I need you to bring Brock Purdy along. I need you to bring those guys along, and when they're washed up, you go get another one.
Find another one. I need you to turn Matt Ryan into an MVP.
That's why you get paid. We all want to coach Pat Mahomes. Yes, you should chase your owner to go get Mahomes, but the reason you're great is you take average dudes and make them look better.
Yeah. I want you to make Matt Schaub lead the league in passing again.
So don't lose your lane, brother. Everybody wants to be Andy and have Mahomes and just kind of build an offense and let you go be successful. And that's not why Shanahan made his bones. And he bitched about Garofalo, and they went and he managed to get about 10 years of average quarterback that he could elevate.
Yeah.
Now it's a whole different world.
I think they're making a pretty big mistake, but.
I don't blame him for doing that because Shanahan has earned the right to give me the best quarterback and let's see, or my quarterback, and let's pay him. I get why he's getting it, but the formula for Shanahan has always been under recruited or undervalued quarterback elevated by his game plan.
Here's what it's going to boil down to. Brock Purdy, starting in 2025, is going to be 19% of his team's salary.
As a Cowboy and watching Dak, it's just not a formula for success if you're not that great.
For perspective, Josh Allen next year will be 19.7% of his team's
and he's
salary
worth it.
cap.
He is 19.7% of that team. You know what I mean? He is that much. He's that important and should be paid as such.
So if you're wondering, Dak, 23.5.
See, that is such a recipe for failure. It's just, I mean, seriously. I mean, it's just, you look at that and you're doomed from the start.
The only guy with a higher cap percentage than Dak is Joe Burrow, 24.5.
Just
but at least it feels like Joe Burrow could drag a corpse to at least contending. I don't know.
And Henderson's going to go, watch them pay Micah. Yeah, they're going to pay Micah.
Yeah.
You won't pay me.
Yeah. No, I've thought all along Brock Purdy was a product of a system, and it's awesome. Like I'm not saying that he sucks. I'm saying that if Brock Purdy were drafted as Mr. Irrelevant by the Tampa Bay Bucks, Brock Purdy would probably be playing for the Washington Defenders or whatever they're called now. Like he'd be gone.
I think John Lynch should have stood up and not sign him for that much money and told his coach, you know what? Like I just said, the reason you're so successful is because you're great at doing this. And I know you want a great quarterback and you want to have a foundation and all that, but that's not why you're great. That's not why we hired you. Yes, you're not a keeper. You're a creator. And that's why you get to have all these other great players getting paid because your quarterback's just above average. You're the great one. I'm paying you to do that.
Which I got news for you. Guess who that exact thing we're talking about is the downfall of? Kyle Shanahan's one of the branches of his tree, Mike McDaniel.
Yes.
Who, as soon as Tua got paid, it's like, Tua's not that good.
You're the great one.
You're what made Tua
good.
Yeah. Like, don't pay Tua like he's Joe Montana because he's not.
And it's not McDaniel's fault that Tua got paid. It's up to the GM to tell you.
Well, but it's also up to the coach to say, well, you know what, you're right. The coach is going to always back his guy, but it is the GM to say, dude, that's not what you're here. You're here to take a guy like Tua, make the most out of it, and before we make him a top 5 paid quarterback, we'll go find you another one. You make the most out of him.
That's why great general managers control their coaches and not vice versa. I mean, that's why I got to buy the groceries is not always the right answer for coaches. Sometimes it might look good for you, but it ain't good for you, brother. I know what's good for you.
Frank says, what choice do the Niners have?
You go find another quarterback and you let him bitch.
Even if you wanted to, if you wanted to franchise him, you could have, which they didn't need to yet, by the way.
You could have bought time, just like the Cowboys could have bought time. You don't just go out and do arbitrarily because you feel like he deserves it.
Yeah, the 49ers paid for what he's done so far and not for what he's capable of doing long term.
Yeah,
that's the biggest mistake you can make.
As a Cowboy fan, I know where you guys are headed. Now, maybe he can elevate. I mean, he still gets a year to prove it. I'm not going to say it won't work, but I know what it looked like before, and it hasn't.
Yeah, we'll see. I think we'll be talking about this in a couple years going, what the hell were they thinking? Chris says, AJ Facts, if Purdy would have gone to the Jets or Giants or Jacksonville, he wouldn't be the same player.
Oh, God, he'd be out of the league, man. He'd already be done. There's no way he could have survived that. He'd have been Baker at the best case scenario. Would have been Baker. Best case.
Lolo fins up, says, fins up, fins up. Josh Allen is still a bum.
Ah, there we go. There it is. That AFC East trash talk.
Yeah.
That hasn't mattered in 35 years, but maybe.
That's so cute, Dolphin fan. That's so cute.
Oh.
Make the dolphin noise.
See, this is. See that I feel like I just
make the little dolphin
peeked
noise.
in on a family argument that I really have no dog in the fight, but I'm uncomfortable watching. Like I shouldn't be seeing this. This is family stuff.
Yeah, you guys don't have a team. You guys don't have like a constant laughing stock team.
No, we don't. We don't have like this. This is like this is y'all's business.
Even the Dolphins aren't like the biggest laughing stock. That's usually the save for the Jets, but.
But the Buffalo-Miami rivalry is old and very well respected in the league. Yeah, those guys hate each other.
But the Dolphins are legitimately Josh Allen's bitch. Like, let's stop with that. Like, just you could call him a bum, but that means you're getting bum raped twice a year is what's happening to you. You got a hobo bending you over the park bench twice a year.
The mafia.
And Pledger says 90% of quarterbacks are dependent on where they end up. I don't know if that's true. To me, like Justin Herbert's game is going to play wherever because he's got all those tools. Brock Purdy, a guy who's limited on physical gifts, like it's so you got to be in the right spot. Jalen Hurts he's certainly in the right spot. Like if Jalen Hurts went to the Texans, it wouldn't work. But I feel like if a guy like Josh Allen, if Josh Allen started playing for the Rams tomorrow, the Rams aren't losing a step.
The top 10 quarterbacks in the league can play anywhere. Right?
Yeah, Joe Burrow could go to the Seahawks and he'd still put up crazy numbers.
But I'll agree that so much, especially at quarterback, matters about scheme and line and all those other variables that are the reason why you arrived. And that's why it's such a cutthroat job, and that's why you get paid that much money, because the chances of survival are about 1 in 30. Really 1 in 30 are going to really separate. And when you're facing those kind of odds, you get paid like that, but you also get chewed up.
I used to have this conversation in Houston. I don't know if you remember, but Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes were in the same draft class. Yep. And there was a while where
first year,
a lot of people thought Deshaun Watson was going to be the better of the two long term. Mm-hmm. And I said all along, like, the one that got drafted by Andy Reid is going to be the one that had more success. I at the time, I didn't know that Deshaun Watson was a weirdo and, like, and he had weird sex stuff going on. But, like, If roles had been reversed at the time, I would have assumed that Deshaun Watson would have turned into what Patrick Mahomes is and vice versa, because like a quarterback landing with Andy Reid is, it's about as good as a good landing spot as you can get.
It's interesting. I love this comparison because we can take this a little bit deeper, because Andy Reid, up until Mahomes, was always the coach that elevated
did a lot with a little.
Yeah, yep. I mean, he had average to good quarterbacks that he made great. And every coach wants to be the Andy Reid who finally gets the golden goose, where mind meets arm, where I get everything. I get the offensive genius paired with the best arm in football. That every coach chases that. I get it. And I know why McVay wants another or wants that thing. But until you find a Mahomes, you're always going to be an elevator and not a maintainer. And that's the kind of coach people want. But you want to be a maintainer because it's easy. I'd much rather coach Mahomes than anybody else, because no matter what I do, he's going to make it look good.
But here's the other thing on the other side of that coin. The first quarterback that got taken in that draft, that got taken before Mahomes and before Deshaun Watson, went number 2 overall. His name was Mitchell Trubisky.
Yep. He won a playoff game early on.
If Mitch Trubisky had been the guy who ended up with Andy Reid, who knows?
He'd have been.
If Patrick Mahomes had gotten drafted by the Bears, I don't know that we're talking about Patrick Mahomes the way we are.
All true statements. You'd like to think Mahomes would overcome all of that, and given what we know now. But keep in mind, during the draft day, I remember right before draft, his agent Steinberg was taking him around alone, getting him interviews, trying to prop him up. He was not. There was no belief that Mahomes was going to be anything.
I would have never drafted Patrick Mahomes in the first round.
When we met him, he had a cast on his arm, walking around, just talking to anybody that would listen. That they were trying to hype him up. So. Lightning strikes, and you just got to be near it. But the conversation goes back to what's good for coaches and what's good for teams. And sometimes coaches are wrong. Well, it's not good for you.
What really, this goes back to what we were talking about a couple hours ago with the NBA. Like, sometimes it takes being in the right spot to really find out what you are. And there's a reason. There's a reason all these teams had questions about Patrick Mahomes and his upside. But because he landed with Andy Reid, we got to see the best version of him, and the best version of Patrick Mahomes is better than anybody, arguably, who's ever played this game. I mean, Tom Brady, say what you will about who was more chicken or egg, whatever. Tom Brady is not Tom Brady without Bill Belichick, though. Like, make no mistake. I agree Bill Belichick's not Bill Belichick without Tom Brady, but it was that relationship that's what created the greatness.
But we all dream of man and scheme coming together. And, wouldn't it be great if Shanahan had a Mahomes? I think it would be. Can you imagine what they would be able to do together? I get the aspiration. I understand it. But there are some guys that are just destined to not need those guys.
That's why they drafted Trey Lance. That's what they were hoping they were getting. But I I can't say this with any certainty. I have on a very good source that Trey Lance was not what Kyle Shanahan wanted.
Oh, well, obviously.
I'm talking.
I don't know about initially, but obviously
on draft
by the time
day,
it was done.
Kyle Shanahan did not want Trey Lance.
Well, my memory of that time period was he was bitching about Garoppolo. Give me somebody better. Give me somebody better. And at that moment, that's when Lynch should have said, no, that's why I hired you. I don't need to get anybody better.
Nope, I agree. All right, let's hit a break. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
How's your water? Did you get up this morning and wash yourself clean underneath the Connecticut water softened shower? If that was you, carry on. You're doing things the right way. For those of us that understand the value of a Connecticut water softener, we could go on for days about what it's done around our house, saved us money on our electricity bill. We don't spend nearly as much money as salt as you do. These things never break, and if they do, heck, you got a warranty to go along with them. They take care of your water like no other water treatment system in South Texas because they were designed and built in the United States. They have the awards to prove their value. So many people expect them to be the most expensive thing out there, and they're not. They're accessible for everybody, and right now, there's never been a better time. If it's time to get a Connecticut, if you're tired of what you got, or you're building a new house, or you're just tired of looking at that white powder on your dishes and feeling it on your skin and watching your hair go flat and all those things that go along with all that crap that comes through in your water, you're curious, go look inside your refrigerator, look at your ice maker. If there's crust on the inside, you got problems, man. You need to get it fixed. That's where Connecticut comes in. If you'll call them today at 656-PURE, that's 656-PURE. They'll come out and put a Connecticut, a nice one, brand new one, in your home. If you're already plumbed for it, you'll have it for 90 days with no cost at all. You'll find out what I'm talking about when you decide to buy, and you will. There's up to $400 in your old water treatment system. There's great credit for 24 months, 12 months with approved, and there is a gift. That's a reverse osmosis drinking station that'll go on your sink. So what are you waiting for? They're very best at a great deal. What do you do? You call them right now at 656-PURE. Have them come take care of you, and you come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a couple of new trouble spots. I-10, upper level eastbound at 35 Frio Street. Get reports of an accident. Right lane just occurred, so a little bit of stop and go from Fredericksburg. On 151 eastbound at 410, this wreck is in the left lane. 5-7-minute delay has you stop and go from Ingram. Working an accident at Callahan, southbound right at 151, and a stall at I-10 eastbound Wurzbach has been moved off to the left shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off. Free UPS shipping and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
April Ansira here from the Ansira Auto Group. Every year, the Texas Yes Project provides thousands of students across the state with free school supplies. And now you can help by entering the Drive Away for Education raffle, proudly sponsored by the Ansira Auto Group. One lucky winner will drive away in a brand new car, truck, or SUV. And countless young Texans will move forward with stronger futures. And we'll be giving away a gas card and shopping spree, plus other weekly prizes. Buy your raffle ticket today at TexasYesProject.org.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff.
Now we can chill, Mom.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more tonight. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1. Nothing to say. R.I.P., by the way, Chester Bennington.
Did he go by Chet?
No.
Chet. Or Chest.
I don't know who he is. What's the man?
Lincoln Park.
This is Lincoln Park?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't.
And the thoughts is my own, and the thought is my own.
How'd he die?
This one. He took his own.
Oh, that's sad.
He was actually a very, very big Chris Cornell fan as well, and he killed himself like on the anniversary of Chris Cornell's death.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty sad.
That's sad.
Okay. There is another Game 5 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
In another, maybe an even more entertaining series than what we've had in the NBA, I would argue.
I would say that with a hesitation. It is a better series.
It's been so good.
We've had fights, we've had blowouts, we've had double overtimes, we've had everything you want.
As we go into Game 6 tonight, I'll say this. I thought after Game 3, the Oilers were dead.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they'd rolled over and died, and they were taking it old country way, and that was going to be that. And then they got down 3-0 in Game 4, came all the way back and won in overtime. Crazy.
It's a testament, it really is, to that team.
And then Game 5, not so good.
It's called regressing to the mean. I mean, the better team is going to win this. And I heard it wasn't McDavid. It was another one of the stars for Edmonton say, all we just got to do is get them back to Alberta. We just got to get them back there. We'll drag them back, and we'll hope for the best. And that's about the mentality. Just we'll hope for the best. I think they know they're overmatched.
Yeah. I mean, they are a bit overmatched, but it does feel like they're not going away.
No,
and
get them back to our snake pit, and let's hope for the Game 7.
You have the two best scorers, the two best offensive players in the world playing for your team. You're not out of anything.
Well, again, and I'll say it, any sport, the hardest thing to do is close a team out while on the road. I mean, they're at home, and they're going to have every benefit, and they have the best score in the game. And not knowing what these teams went through to get here. And I don't. I just know what I'm looking at. Florida just seems like a team that understands we're great. We just got to do our great things. And it seems like Edmonton is looking, we got to do extra. We can't just be who we are. We got to be who we are plus. When you got to do that for 2 straight games, you just can't maintain, man.
I'm going to go with a game. I'm going to go with an over in Game 6. I like over 6.5 again. The Panthers have yet to play a game where they've scored less than 3 goals. And when the Oilers get blown out, it seems like McDavid and Draisaitl score. So like they do a lot better when when it's desperation and it's like you go heavy on the offense and back off the defense. They're going to get some junk in. As good as Bobrovsky's been, and he has been phenomenal the last couple games. Yeah. But the Panthers, or the Oilers, after the goalie switch, I don't know that it's going to be any. The Oilers goalies in general just aren't that good, and they're going to give up their points. So
the comparison to the NBA series is pretty apt. I mean, this seems to me there's a couple great players or good players on Edmonton that they're just hoping come with the games of their lives, and if they don't, they ain't going to win.
It does kind of feel that way, although it's a little different, I would say, in that
McDavid's great.
Yeah,
one of the best.
I mean,
in the world.
Really is.
Yeah, he really is. He's better than Halliburton or Siakam. I get that.
And quite frankly, neither one of these teams was like blow you away great in the regular season. The Oilers had 101 points in the regular season. Florida had 98. To put that into perspective, like the top teams in the league, Winnipeg had 116, Washington 111, Vegas 110. Edmonton was third in Vegas's division. They were third in the division behind Vegas and LA, and Florida was third behind Toronto and Tampa in the Atlantic division. So these aren't like the two best teams meeting for some sort of 1-versus-1 dominant matchup.
But over the last 3 years, how has Florida been?
Phenomenal.
Over the last 4 years, are they the best team in hockey? Sum total?
Them or it has to be them because they will have this. If they win, this would be their second straight win. And the year before that, they lost in the Stanley Cup final to Vegas.
They just feel imminent to me. And like I said, I don't know how they got here. I just know when I watch them skate, they skate like champions. They act like they're already the winner. It's just a matter of us taking care of business. And Edmonton acts like we got to be the man. We got to beat the man. And to beat the man, we got to do this and that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I do think, man, there's a lot of pressure to be that team that wins one for Canada. It has been so long.
I hadn't considered that bit of pressure either.
I think they're like it starts to weigh on you.
I want them to do it though, man. I want to see a Game 7 just because it's Game 7.
I mean, eventually, a Canadian team will win it again. But when you're talking about going back to 1993, 32 years now since a Canadian team won, that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight for your country's game. Like, this is your nation's game.
Feels like they up and left you, man.
Yeah.
I don't see how you ever come back.
So, yeah, it does feel like Florida is imminent, like you said, and they have been the best team in the world the last 3 years. But this went 7 last year. Same two teams went 7 last year. They're evenly matched. But usually in the playoff, I lean to goaltending, and in this matchup, it's not really close.
Right.
The goalkeeping for Florida is just on a different
level.
So
if Edmonton is able to push it to 7, and McDavid does this, is the story McDavid, or is the story the new goalie? Would it be the replacement of the goalie and the protection that it provided?
I think because Connor McDavid is essentially the LeBron James or whatever, like he's the biggest name in the sport. It will be about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what the narrative will be. And also, again, it goes back to with these goalies, They all suck. Like I mean, somebody show me. Like I don't know if Edmonton wins, it's not going to be because they got great goalkeeping. It's going to be because they won shootout. They're going to have to win games 7-5 because their goalie just isn't good enough. Neither of them are good enough to hold this Florida attack down. It has to be like
good.
I'm trying. It has to be like it's like these college football teams that run the air raid. Like they know we're going to give up points. We gotta be able to score with you. Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's what they're going to be. So, but game 6 tonight, I don't know if I feel I don't know if I'm sold on who wins this thing tonight. I still think Florida wins the series. I don't know if it'll be tonight, but I am going to go over. I do think that we get some goals scored tonight, and it just feels to me Game 5 was a real disappointment for the Oilers. After that big comeback and winning that, I thought there was going to be a bunch of momentum rolled into that. In Game 5, they stunk. It looked like Game 3, like they didn't belong again. So the reality is they probably are just a lesser team than Florida. So I guess if I had to pick a side, I'm picking Florida. But I'm going to go over 6.5 and just assume that the offenses get after it here because that's what I feel like I can trust right now.
Well, right now, looking at some of the Florida stats, they've hit over 3.5 in 8 of their last 10 games.
Yeah, that's just what they do, and especially against these. And again, on the other side, you've got the best offense in the world. So even with a good goalie, and Bobrovsky's great. I mean, the Oilers have been scoring. Now the last 2 games they've scored less, but they're still scoring.
If you haven't watched any of it, tune in, man. It is that fun. It really is, especially if you're a novice, just because it's crazy to watch them.
Vic's going to watch tonight. He's going to watch the hockey game.
I'll watch a little bit.
What do you got going on? What's your big plan tonight?
What's today, Tuesday?
Yep. Nothing.
Murder, She Wrote.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Watch the hockey game, Vic.
Nah, just King of the Hill reruns.
Let's watch the hockey game. Okay. I want you to talk about it with me tomorrow. I want to talk hockey with you.
All right.
I want to get your thoughts on the game, on the matchup, how you felt about it.
Yeah, I got to look up the
rules. You got to just see. You know that guy? I got to look
up the rules.
The guy with the beard and no teeth is pretty good.
You don't need to know the rules. That's a cool thing about hockey. Every once in a while they'll call a penalty, and that's when you got to care about rules. But if when they're playing, they're just playing.
And then they just get in a circle and hit each other with the sticks.
Sometimes.
Just go at it.
Sometimes. If somebody gets their ass kicked, sometimes they'll just throw down gloves and fight over it. Hey, you're beating us by too many. Let's fight about it.
How long do they let them fight for?
Until they get tired.
Usually until somebody gets knocked down, and then it's over. All right, 1 hour to go. Eric Warner coming up next from Carbach. We'll talk to him about what's brewing with them. Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
6 for 6, and the Aggies have the lead.
Your home for Aggies football. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association Outlaw
Nitro Series
is back. 5 events, 3 locations.
1 explosive season.
Top fuel, funny cars, promos. You are in the stands. Get your tickets now at IHRA.com. It's IHRA.com.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
For Father's Day, Synergenics and Low T Center are offering free T-tests and weight loss consultations for a limited time. Book your free consultation and T-test now till June 21st and get a free B12 shot for an extra boost of energy. Give the gift of a new start for Father's Day. Book now at FixMyLowT.com.
Something amazing is happening when power outages strike. Teams are powering through them. That's because CDW Solutions architects are building more resilient IT and electrical infrastructures with Schneider Electric. With EcoCare remote monitoring services and 24/7 support, Your organization can do more than keep the lights on. Schneider Electric and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Schneider Electric.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
Hold it.
Like to check the assembly instructions first.
Hold it.
Before building the bookcase.
And done. Whew. You can let go.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about MediShare, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And MediShare works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Mom, it's like the 80s in here. It's so hot.
It's totally in the 80s. Our AC is bogus.
Call Right Home Services.
At Right Home Services, we love the 80s, just not on your thermostat. Don't get stuck with a bogus AC. The right AC services, the right team, and the right price. 210-444.
The right stuff. Now we can chill, Mom.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a couple of new trouble spots. I-10, upper level eastbound at 35 Frio Street. Get reports of an accident. Right lane just occurred, so a little bit of stop and go from Fredericksburg. On 151 eastbound at 410, this wreck is in the left lane. 5-7-minute delay has you stop and go from Ingram. Working an accident at Callahan, southbound right at 151, and a stall at I-10 eastbound Wurzbach has been moved off to the left shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA Finals continued last night as the Oklahoma City Thunder hosted the Indiana Pacers, taking them down in Game 5, 120-109, behind SGA and J-Dub's combined 71 points. Game 6 in Indiana Thursday night, live right here. Big news for Texas State as they are a heavy favorite, according to ESPN sources, to be issued a formal invitation to join the Pac-12. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
9:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob getting you through on a Tuesday.
I need a beer.
Oh, it sounds good, doesn't it?
Right.
I wish that Eric would have sent some over for us to sample this morning.
Talking and drinking at the same time.
Yeah.
You know.
Joining us now on the Buyers Barricade guest line just so happens to be the brewmaster emeritus of Karbach, our favorite brewery here on the Morning Huddle, Eric Warner. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning. You guys already plowed through all that beer I got you.
That's long gone, man. It's pool season, Bubba. Man. It's summer. I've been moving. Like, what do you think? Of course.
All right, I'll have to get you guys reloaded. You put an order in for me. I mean, this time of year, obviously, Love Street's a good go-to favorite, nice and light. Did you guys try some of that rhubarb?
We both loved the rhubarb's a great pool beer, man. It really is.
Easy drink.
We've been getting good feedback on that one. You know, that's our latest Fun Series beer that's got rhubarb, a little bit of strawberry, a little bit of hibiscus, and it's kind of lightly sour, so it's very quenching and refreshing.
Feels like that beer is kind of outside of your box. I've known you for a while now. I've known the kind of beer that you like to brew. That's not something that Eric Warner would have brewed 10 years ago. Talk about like what came to the decision to brew that beer?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So part of the, you hit the nail on the head. I am brewmaster emeritus. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. As people know, as we get older, we get a little more steadfast in our ways. And so, we hired a great brewmaster a couple of years ago, came from Oregon, Mitch, and Mitch Sikolis, and he's, really with his coming on board, we really fired up our pilot brewery in new ways we hadn't before. We've been trying all kinds of fun stuff. And so, yeah, that's a little creation that he and the rest of the team came up with to kind of, you hit the nail on the head. It's a perfect poolside summertime, beer. It's very refreshing.
How many ideas actually work all the way out from thought to actually in cans?
I'd say it's probably maybe 10% if we're lucky. A little higher percentage on draft. There's a lot of stuff we'll run through the pilot system that we'll put on draft, so that percentage is a lot higher. But to actually make it to a can, that's rare air, as they say.
Wow.
Well, particularly to make it to, I mean, they do a lot of the stuff that they make small batches of. Will go through the tap room there at Karbach.
Oh, absolutely. I'm curious. Go through the progress to eventually it's selling to the point. Let's put it in a can and keep it around for a minute.
Yeah, but that tap room at Karbach, there's a lot of stuff that they'll try there. That you could try a lot of stuff one-off.
That's
stuff.
why you go.
Oh yeah,
Get those flights.
Great place. Corey says, "Where can I get that rhubarb beer? You can get it at grocery stores, liquor stores.
At H-E-B.
Yeah. And wherever you get your fine Texas beers. All right. So as summer comes around, what's next in the chute for you guys? What's the next big plan, Eric?
Yeah, well, we got some fun stuff going on. So you talked about trying beers at the brewery. So July 19th and 20th, we've got our Frida Fest at the brewery, and that's so popular now that's actually become a 2-day event. So could be worth if you happen to be in Houston that weekend or want to make the trek over. I mean, obviously she's got fans the world over, and it's turned into quite a fun event. So that's a good thing going on at the brewery. Corey was kind of asking where to buy the rhubarb, and we have another fun thing going on in store right now. We have the Love Street Air Force One giveaway. We have partnered with a local designer to create a custom pair of Air Force Ones, and it's the kind of, you could do it on the website or follow us on social or in store. If you're really old school like me, you can fill out the little piece of paper and put it in the box. But it's a register to win deal, and we're going to pick one lucky winner, and these will be custom, customized to your shoe size. They're really cool. I've seen an advanced look of the design, and they truly are going to be one of a kind. So Love Street, perfect poolside beer this summer, so check that one out.
Saw also 713 Day, July 13th in Houston. Lil Flip going to be performing at the brewery there. So you guys getting some big names up in that brewery, my friend.
Yeah, we've really tried to. It's kind of funny. We, Shiny Ribs, which is based out of Austin, they just actually played at an event here in town this weekend, my little mountain town. And we had them at the Love Street Music Fest. Gosh, I want to say 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe even more. And so, yeah, we've just constantly been trying to, every time we have music at the brewery, raise the bar for everyone. And, we're getting the kind of crowds out there now where it makes sense, right? Obviously, if you're a great act like that, you want to know that you're going to have, you're not playing in that empty bar room. And so, we've really been raising the bar musically, and that was a big coup for us for sure, getting this one on 713 Day.
That's right. Now, as beer is it's a constantly changing game, and it's no secret that a lot of breweries have closed down, and I think it's like the newest generation of people, like they're very conscious about calories and carbs and things like that. One of the great things you guys have is ranch water, which goes to everybody, and you talk about great summertime stuff. You talk about being refreshed out by the pool. Ranch water is always a winner come summertime, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, that is the perfect. I'm a beer guy. You hit the nail on the head. I drink beer, and but if it's 1 billion degrees out, and you're out all day, on the river or something, it really is refreshing, low alcohol. And yeah, AJ, you kind of hit the nail on the head there, and that's why I think we're seeing a lot of growth with lighter beers, lagers, things like that. Don't get me wrong, IPAs are still immensely popular, but I think we're starting to see a little bit of shift in what the craft breweries are focusing on. So these lighter offerings, that both in terms of alcohol and calories and such, are they're growing pretty fast.
Eric, I need you to write this down and give it to the guys running the pilot system. Like a pineapple Serrano or pineapple jalapeno ranch water, I think will really hit the spot. So let's test it out, and if it works, you can thank me later. No big deal.
I as long as you said that instead of Doppelbock at the end of it, I think we can make that work.
Thank you. Yes.
That is Eric Warner, the brewmaster emeritus at Karbach. Eric, we appreciate you taking the time with us. Appreciate your support of the show, and we'll talk to you next time, brother.
Likewise, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.
Take care.
There you go, Eric, and all our guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Are you looking at the upcoming events at the beautiful Karbach Brewery? I think we need to be down there on Latina Day.
Oh!
What goes on Latina Day?
Your Tia shows up.
Yeah.
What happens?
I don't know if that's good or not.
Orale, way.
No, all the toxicas will be there.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the borrachas. Let's
go. The triple T's. Tias, toxicas, y tortas. Something for everyone.
Good beer to follow it up.
Something for everyone.
I am there.
That sounds like a plan, baby. That sounds like a plan right there. Latina Day. I wonder what that consists of.
I don't know. It just says mark your calendars. Yes, sir.
I hope it's free beer for all the Latinas.
Will be some strong, powerful women. Don't need no man.
Ooh, and they'll have a buffet too.
Oh, you know there's a buffet.
Damn right.
And there's gonna be a free bag to take home with you. Something free.
Well, when it's Latinos or Latinas, you have to say
there's gonna be something free to line up for.
Hey, whatever gets the job done.
Selena bag.
I did want to address, we haven't gotten a chance to talk College World Series. We saw a phenomenal performance by Arkansas's pitching staff yesterday.
Gage Wood.
RIP to Murray State. They sent them packing. But Arkansas gets a 3-0 win. They move on to the next round. UCLA and LSU, the loser of that game is going to play Arkansas. And this got interesting last night because UCLA and Arkansas started the game, then got shut down in a rain delay. And just a quick look at Twitter, there's a lot of LSU fan and a lot of UCLA fan who are really, really nervous right now because this is going to eat into their pitching big time. And whoever wins this thing is going to have to go play Arkansas, who just got a no-hitter out of their guy.
And it's a timing thing, right?
Yes. And like once the two guys who started yesterday, they're done. They ain't going to be able to pitch today. You can't shut it down and then go back and pitch. This isn't softball.
And they couldn't plan for it, given the weather.
No. So, there's a lot of people who said they never should have started the game.
I think I see that, but this is a tournament. I mean, this is kind of how things work in tournaments. Sometimes the weather plays a terrible role. You want the best teams playing at their best, but this is kind of part of life, I feel like.
Yeah.
I get why you're mad, but the game goes on.
And, I mean, listen, for Arkansas to win anyway, I mean, it is a hellacious run they're going to have to make. We're talking for Arkansas to win the national title after going into the losers bracket. They had to beat Murray State yesterday. They'll have to beat the loser of the LSU UCLA game, beat the winner of that game the next day, and then beat them again. Then they'll get a day off, and then the championship series would start on Saturday. So they'd have to win 7 games in 8 days.
That's the tournament life, man.
Yep.
I mean, that's
are you there for it or not?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Like, who's got it? Who's got enough arms? That's why, like, when I was coaching, if you couldn't pitch or catch, you better be really special at something else to be on my team because I want everybody to be able to pitch.
You gotta be able to throw it far. Get in left field.
Or you better just hit straight dingers. That's it. But yeah, you when you play these long tournaments, you play, and for the youth baseball tournament, sometimes you play 7-8 games in a weekend.
Yeah.
And you run out of arms, and it's really kind of like a battle of attrition. Like, you get to the end of these things, and it's like, who has somebody left who can throw the ball over the plate? That's what it's going to be like here. And obviously, these guys have a lot bigger rosters, and they got a lot more to wiggle with. But again, you're facing other elite talent.
Shouldn't have lost out of the box. If you won, you wouldn't be facing this fact. So.
But it does the LSU UCLA teams, they're put at a disadvantage now because of this weather thing. So it's going to be interesting to watch. That'll get back underway today. We'll talk about the exact stuff going on when we do the daily lines. But there was a bunch of people before the weather, non-LSU or UCLA fans, saying, please let this game go 20 innings. I hope they play all night. I hope nobody can pitch tomorrow for them. So it's fun seeing the different fan bases wishing for different things. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on in the world outside of sports. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We now have a full-on closure on 281 northbound Dinella up to 1604. Closed with a major accident. They are diverting traffic onto the frontage road, so expect about a 7-8 minute delay. It's going to slow you down from right around Winding Way. I-10 eastbound approaching La Cantera Parkway. This wreck in the left lane causing about a 5-minute delay, slow from Bernie Stage Road. And on Loop 410 eastbound, just before you get to Honeysuckle, 2 right lanes blocked with a wreck. Delays started ever, so it's going to set you back an extra 15 minutes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District knows that life moves fast and the last thing you want is to miss out due to an illness. Vaccines are safe and help your immune system fight off serious disease that can stop or change your plans. They protect you, the people you love, and can prevent you from getting sick. Let's get vaccinated, because when it comes to your health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Game over. Game over, Vic.
That's right.
Flip, 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 flip. Game over.
That's production right there. Oh.
Yeah,
Hey, can we talk about, I know we got stuff to do.
Sure.
Can we talk about Ohtani throwing 100 miles an hour yesterday? My God, man.
That's a fast. He throw fast.
Yeah. Dude, yesterday you didn't want him to pitch.
No. And I'll just sit down and shut up and get some popcorn. I'm going to just hold back my baseball opinions because I'm stupid. My God, on his 28th pitch, after taking a year off and not having surgery, just letting his body return to his natural Superman state. The dude threw a 100-mile-an-hour pitch. It's just unbelievable to me.
He is a good sports player. Good sports player. And he did end up hitting yesterday, by the way.
What?
He did end up hitting all game yesterday. I don't know how they're working it, but yeah, he hit the whole game yesterday. So, yeah.
Do what you want to do, Shohei. You're the man.
Yeah.
I'm just watching.
John says, "Can we talk about college football?" No.
About what?
I don't know what to talk about it right now. I mean,
I'd love to, and in about a month we will when they start practicing. But there's just not a lot going down right now.
Yeah. We will gladly talk college. Anytime we get a chance to talk football, I'm down, Bubba.
Well, nothing's changed since the last time. When something changes, we'll talk about it.
Yes. Do you know what today is?
Well, it's Tuesday.
It's June 17th.
Mm-hmm.
31 years ago today.
I wonder where I was 31 years ago.
You were watching a very long and very convincing Ford Bronco commercial.
Oh my goodness! I can tell you exactly.
It's OJ Day.
I was at Texas Sports Bar at I-10 and Blanco, right there at it was the Omni Hotel at the time, watching the Rockets-Knicks finals, and I'll never forget how strange that was because I was sure I was going to watch OJ get shot on live television.
I was too.
I mean, we all were just. It was the most for those who weren't there. It was one of the most surreal moments of my life.
Yeah, I was at the Frio River, and we had a cabin, and we had the TV out on the patio, and we were all gathered around in camping chairs watching the Rockets Knicks. And I was so annoyed at first.
Yeah, everybody was because the tournament, the games was good.
Yeah, but it was like, oh, I mean, are they going to kill OJ?
This is OJ Day. Everybody watching was like, man, as soon as this Bronco stops, somebody's going to die.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, today is 31 years since OJ Day. R.I.P. Juice.
Well, I don't know about the P.
But
rest. Go ahead and stay asleep.
Rest, Juice. Adrian Garcia, I think he misunderstood the meaning of Father's Day. What did you do for your dad on Father's Day, Vic? Did you do anything for your pop? Did you?
No, he was out with his friends.
Did you give him a call? Did you say, "Dad, I appreciate you"? Rob, I'm sure you had some good time with your dad.
We had several generations of dad hanging out. So yeah.
My father, I lost him last year, so it was a little bittersweet for me.
Yeah. Right.
Adrian Garcia, he shot his dad over Father's Day weekend. That's that's not the way to do it.
Remember the day.
Yeah. He at least 2 gunshots were heard at the home where Garcia lived with his parents. There were people giving conflicting information, but they believe they've sorted out what happened here. They booked Garcia on Father's Day morning at the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center. He's facing a felony charge of attempted murder with a deadly weapon. A neighbor said the victim's wife has remained at his side at the hospital following the shooting. A motive for the shooting, though, remains unclear. But that's not how you do Father's Day, guys. And by the way, I mean, this is like a 25-year-old man. If you're 25 years old and you're still living at home, it's not your parents' fault, Bubba.
No.
Don't shoot them. It just shoot yourself.
Leave that last chicken leg. You don't get that last pork chop.
Yeah, he would go on Losers if this was Monday, for sure. I'm not totally in on all the movies that are being made now, but I love when they make movies from stuff when I was a kid.
A sequel, like a distant sequel?
Not even a sequel, but like
Airplane coming back?
Remake it.
It's a remake.
Yeah.
Oh, a remake.
One that I didn't even know was going on, but apparently has now wrapped production. You guys might be too old for this. When I was a kid, I played with, I didn't like G.I. Joe. I had
Scuba Steve.
I had He-Man.
Oh, yeah, we had He-Man. Yeah.
He-Man was my guy. And there's a new He-Man movie coming. A new Masters of the Universe movie is coming out.
Was there ever a Masters of the Universe movie?
There was.
A great cartoon, but
there was a Masters. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. You don't remember that?
Was it a cartoon movie or a live action?
It was a live action movie.
I missed it. No, I didn't know.
I don't know why I can't think of the
He-Man.
Oh yeah, I have the power. What year was this?
That was.
It was Dolph Lundgren was the He-Man. I don't know what year it was, but it was a long time ago. But there's now a new one coming out, 2026. So it had to be in the 80s, late 80s is my guess.
Dolph was, yeah.
Ooh, Camilla's playing Tila.
And Jared Leto is going to be Skeletor.
I was going to say, who's going to play Skeletor?
Yeah.
Jared Leto will be Skeletor.
Oh, and Idris Elba.
So yeah, Idris Elba's Man at Arms. Nice. Yeah, so there's some big stars in this. I didn't know it was even happening, but here it is. They've wrapped up filming. This guy who's the star is Nicholas Galitzine.
This is breakthrough role.
It must be. I don't know anything about the guy, but apparently
he's dreamy.
Oh yes, he's very, very handsome, and he has the power.
I remember when Jerry Jones got his first facelift.
Oh yes,
it's been about 20 years ago.
Oh
and
yes,
he showed up. It wasn't about probably 15 years ago because we were at training camp. Walked out there and he did his State of the Cowboys speech, and it was a former writer for the Dallas Morning News. I can't remember his name. Turned to me, goes, "Man, see Jerry? It looks like Skeletor."
Well, he kind of did.
Yeah, that skin was stretched so tight, he did look like Skeletor.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of lookalikes, there was a contest, a Pedro Pascal lookalike contest.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Now, listen, I like Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of his work.
But I don't know what handsome looks like because I don't think he's a good.
I don't find him all that attractive.
He just looks like a normal dude.
Now I'm a heterosexual man. But I am certainly willing to admit when there's a really good-looking dude. You know what I mean?
We don't get it, dude. My wife thinks he's like good-looking.
I don't necessarily see it either. But he's like a.
He does look like him though.
Well, this guy in Brooklyn, they had a contest, a Pedro Pascal lookalike contest. His name's George Guntas. Now he got a serious haul of prizes. This is at the Lower East Side Son del Norte Mexican restaurant.
Close. It's close.
He got $50 cash and a year's supply of burritos.
Jeez.
Well, he's going to look like
for looking the most.
Pedro's fat cousin by the end of the year. But
yes, a year's supply of burritos.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. I think there was one guy that looked more like him that they didn't choose.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's pretty dang close to me.
I guess he's most famous for The Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
Which I have not seen.
Last of Us is kind of getting the...
And he was in Narcos.
Yeah, it was Narcos. Breakthrough.
Well, and he was in Game of Thrones. Remember,
right.
He fought the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
I think that's where he elevated, but really right now it is...
It's a Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's Mandalorian.
Yeah. And there is another season coming.
Yeah, and I've never seen it, so I'm.
It's good, not great. Last of Us is better.
He doesn't show his face at all, maybe once in the entire series.
Oh, really?
He's got the helmet on.
Yeah,
okay.
But it's his voice.
He doesn't really show up.
Yeah.
He's got a good, well-built stunt double.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean,
it's him the way he walks.
Which is the guy you think should have won, Vic? Which guy are you talking about?
It was,
the guy on the far left, if there's in the group picture.
The guy with the broken arm?
Yeah, that guy looks pretty close.
I think he looked the most like him, but he had a broken arm.
Yeah, that was one guy. I don't remember.
The guy in the yellow shirt, I'm not sure why he showed up, quite frankly.
He had a mustache. So
yeah. He's like, I'm a person with a mustache.
We have 8 prizes. We need one more dude.
I'll go for it. Why not? Elsewhere in the news. I like to talk about Cher sometimes, but now we've got some hard news about Cher.
No, she saves elements, you know.
Cher's a good lady, and if she could turn back time.
Too bad she sucks the life force out of young, virile men.
Well, her youngest son, Elijah Blue Allman, has been rushed to the hospital after authorities found him, quote, acting erratically. Now, I can't imagine growing up with Cher as your mom that you would...
Greg Allman as your dad.
You'd end up
been
crazy.
Exposed to a few things.
I mean, that does seem odd. When authorities arrived, they found him, he's 48 years old, being evaluated by emergency medical personnel, then was transported to the hospital. Allman is her second son, whom she shared with her ex-husband, Greg Allman, who died in 2017. Now, she is also the mother to the more famous Chaz Bono.
That was formerly Chastity.
Chastity Bono, but now Chaz, with her and Sonny had that one. But Chaz is now 56 years old. Old balls and loose skin. Gross.
Hey, man, he bought into this. You wanted this. You asked for this.
He's got money.
According to the report, Allman's estranged wife says, while it's true that Elijah has faced personal challenges in the past, one constant has been his unwavering commitment to sobriety and his loyalty to those he loves.
Not so much last night.
Like many, he continues to confront his inner struggles, but it is important to recognize that he does so from a place of strength, not defeat. Despite the assumptions that often color how his journey is portrayed, the reality is that Elijah remains grounded, focused, and deeply committed to living with integrity.
You talk about the cat in rehab?
And purpose.
You talk about the dude that OD'd overnight and is in rehab? I love the way AI can put together some sentences, man. That Chat GPT can put together a paragraph. Man.
I want to state without hesitation that I will always root for him. My support is steadfast and comes from a place of deep respect for the person he is and the resilience he continues to show. I would have said, so why are you his estranged wife?
Yeah, you sound like you love him.
Allman has struggled with drug addiction and his mental health in the past. Back in 2023, Cher filed for conservatorship over concerns that he was substantially unable to manage his financial resources due to severe mental health and substance abuse issues. And in court documents found at the time, Cher expressed concerns that any of Allman's money that he received from a trust set up by his father will be immediately spent on drugs.
I would imagine that's the case.
Well, let's, Cher. What are you trying to do, kill the economy?
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Yeah, drug dealers need money too, Cher. You should know that. You should know. Do you believe in life after love?
Greg Allman was a scary-looking dude.
I mean, imagine, like, Greg Allman in his 50s on top of Cher in her 50s doing sex. Ooh.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't want to be
the sounds coming out of that room would have been from another planet.
I know. Cher
noises and
Cher does stuff. Cher actually looks pretty good for being like an old broad.
I'm telling you, she sucks the life force out of younger men. They show up and they're 30, and by the time she's done with them a week later.
If you told me she was 80 years old, I mean that's like that's crazy.
Dude, you also watched Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Remember when the witch took off her?
Oh yes,
that's what I'm afraid happens.
I think that might happen
Cher
too.
Upstairs, she takes off that dress, and suddenly 200 years old, whatever is underneath.
She was so hot too until she took that dress off, and then it was gross.
Then she took it off, and that's why you leave the lights off.
That took a terrible turn.
Yeah,
that might have been where Game of Thrones jumped the shark. Actually,
she looked like she was melting.
That might have been the end of it. All right, let's take our final break of the day. And we will come back. And we will take a look at the daily lines. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1. I got to tell you guys about Carbach. We just heard from Eric Warner. Carbach continues to push the limits, try to bring out new beers, try to find new things that you might enjoy. The latest is that rhubarbed, that fruited sour type beer that's available right now in their Fun series. Great poolside beer, as we discussed. If that's not your thing, no big deal. They've got the Love Street as always. Hopadillo's always around. Crawford Bach, Ziegenbach, two of my favorites. But we mentioned today the ranch water. They've got prickly pear, watermelon, lemon, and lime, all delicious, and you can get the variety pack of that Carbach ranch water, and that will get it done on these hot days for sure. I'm trying to convince him to make like I said, a jalapeno pineapple or a serrano pineapple, where it's like the spicy with the sweet. That's what I'm looking for. But the prickly pear and the watermelon, both some of my actually they're all really good. But my wife fights me over the prickly pears. That's her favorite, too. Something for everybody in their lineup, and they're all over the city. Of course, they're in the grocery stores. Of course, they are in the liquor stores, but they're also in a bunch of bars and restaurants, too. So when you're out and about this week, go ahead and ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Apparently, the cat meant a lot to you guys in the mornings, and it became the morning show mascot. Cool. Keep it in the mornings.
Yeah, but our mascot in the afternoon is Pledge. So, I mean, y'all can have the kitty in the morning, and that's great.
Kitty in the morning could also be a country song.
Well, that could be.
Who doesn't want to start their day that way?
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Hey, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
For Father's Day, Centergenics and Low T Center are offering free T-test and weight loss consultations for a limited time. Book your free consultation and T-test now till June 21st and get a free B12 shot for an extra boost of energy. Give the gift of a new start for Father's Day. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about MediShare, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And MediShare works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
For over 20 years, Purple Wave Auction has been the trusted leader in online auctions, offering the easiest way to buy and sell equipment. From bulldozers to backhoes and combines to cranes, we host multiple weekly auctions in construction, ag, and fleet equipment. With our no reserve format and sell where it sits approach, you can bid on local equipment without waiting for far off auction dates. Get registered for free and start bidding today at purplewave.com.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
One, two, three, take my hand and come with me, cause you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. All right. Come on and get your kicks. Now, you don't need them, honey, with a look like that, do you, honey? One more story I wanted to get to today. A man who was protesting the ICE raids in downtown L.A. this last week was injured when he was shot with a rubber bullet.
Right in the nether regions, dude.
Boom. 33-year-old Martin Santoyo
was shot in the testy satchel.
Oh,
Ouch.
a rubber bullet off the ball sack.
Now,
that'll wake you up in the morning.
Yeah, that'll get you start complaining about something.
That's one scrambled egg for sure.
the officer who shot him was standing about 2 to 3 feet away from him and shot him directly in the satchel.
Man, that's point blank.
After I got hit, I couldn't really walk.
No.
I was in too much shock, and they were still pushing me. Some other protesters were trying to help me walk, but they're pushing them too, and everyone's shouting, "Yo, he just got hit, let him breathe." I needed to sit down for a bit, but they kept pushing. Bystanders eventually helped him get medical attention, and he was ultimately taken to the hospital where he had to undergo surgery for his injuries.
Oh, no.
Scrambled egg, man.
I have a bruised left testicle.
Oh.
And my right testicle was shattered.
What?
Shattered.
I keep trying to tell you, it's a scrambled egg, baby. It's gone.
Ouch.
They say that the surgery somewhat fixed it, so it should have some function, but it's still very badly damaged.
Does he have a prosthetic?
They're going to give him a little, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to have 3 in there.
He still can't walk.
2.5.
Now, the good news for him is and I'm not here to judge, but by looking at him, the good news is he'll never need those testicles. This guy's got virgin written all over, and he's going to die a virgin.
Maybe there's a pending lawsuit.
No, well, that might help. Yep. But then
a little bit of money in the bank can't overcome.
Well, then you don't have the wherewithal to.
Well, it doesn't mean you can't start. You just can't finish.
Yeah.
You can still run the race. You just never really get to cross the finish line, which is his own problem. But I mean,
it's just it's a very, very, very severe vasectomy. Like it's the worst kind of vasectomy.
Yeah, by
rubber bullet shattered his testicle. Shattered it.
Some gave a little, some gave all.
Oh,
I mean, my wife just grazes in that area, and I'm like, whoa,
a slight breeze. Like, ho. What's that, Eddie Murphy? I think playtime is over.
Yeah.
I know. It's the same thing when you put the peanut butter and then. Oh,
what?
No, that's. I thought we were talking about something different.
Completely different. No,
that's why you have a German Shepherd.
No, that's why I have a corgi. German Shepherd. That's dangerous, friend.
Corgi.
Yeah, actually, that corgi's way more dangerous than the German Shepherd. About food. If I try to get my German Shepherd food, she's so good, she'll open her mouth and you put the food in and she gently closes it.
Yeah, that's how my dogs are. Yeah.
No.
The corgi,
that better be out of your fingers because I'm going to take that with
it's
you.
like a shark.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's some food, little guy.
I get everything around it. I get everything around the food. I don't care. You better drop it. Because if it's in your hand, I'm taking that with me.
All right, let's wrap up the show the way we always do by taking a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
Hockey tonight. The Oilers are at the Panthers. Panthers minus 155. Oilers plus 130 on the comeback. Under is 6.5, juiced minus 120 to the under. Even money if you like the over. If you think Edmonton keeps it close, Oilers plus 1.5 is minus 192. Here's why I hate that bet. If you like that, just pick the Oilers to win. If the Oilers are losing, remember it's an elimination game. They're going to take the goalie off early in this thing if they have to. So if Florida wins, they're likely to win by multiple goals. So I think if you like Florida to win, I would bet Florida minus 1.5 at plus 160 because usually there's an empty netter in these elimination games if somebody's going home because there's desperation at the end, unless it's tied at the end.
Let's talk some DFS. Let's talk some goalie.
Okay.
Stuart Skinner, more or less 25.5 saves.
I'll go less than that.
What would be a better bet? Bobrovsky, more or less 27.5.
Ooh, I'll go less than that too.
You like the less on both? What's the more likely outcome in your mind? 27 for Bobrovsky, 25.
I think more likely is Skinner because I could see them pulling Skinner out of the game if he struggles.
All right.
So and Bobrovsky gave up 8 goals, and they're going to ride with him because he's the man. But
thoughts on Brad Marchand taking more than 3 shots? I think that's a pretty good.
I think that's a good
like
bet.
That one. Okay.
Yeah, he's been a big part of their action. Certainly, he's been their go-to guy in this series. I hate the Boston Bruins for ever trading him to the Panthers. That was a big mistake by them. I hope their organization goes up in flames for it.
There we have our prize picks are in.
Game 6 of the NBA Thursday. -5 Thunder, totals 225, plus 170 if you like the Pacers on the money line, if that's your thing. Not my thing.
$100, baby.
Hey, if you like them to win the series, like I said, $100 and win you $1,000. You want $1,000? There it is.
I'll take your 100. I'll hold it for you.
Yeah, I'd take the 100 too.
I'll hold it for you.
In Major League Baseball, that's how they say it in Mexico. Baseball.
It's been very, very good to me.
That's right. Jesus Luzardo goes for the Phillies. Cal Quantrill for the Marlins. Phillies -190 on the road. Bailey Falter and the Pirates are in Detroit. Casey Mize goes for the Tigers. -195 are Detroit. Antonio Cinzatella, he's going to pitch it today for the Rockies. Hey, Antonio, try not to give up 8 runs. You know what I'm saying? Plus 167. They are at the Nationals. Nationals -205 with Michael Soroka. Kyle Hendricks goes for the Angels. They're coming off a 1-0 shutout of the Yankees. Can they do it again? Will Warren hopes they cannot. Yankees -265 in the Bronx. Brandon Pfaadt goes for Arizona. They are at Toronto. Chris Bassett going for the Blue Jays. Jays -120. David Fiesta. The Twins, they're in Cincinnati, taking on Andrew Abbott and the Reds. Cincinnati, -120. David Peterson goes for the Mets. They're in Atlanta to take on the Braves. Spencer Schwellenbach going for Atlanta. Braves -135. Boy, the Braves being a minus favorite here feels odd to me.
Isn't
given
that 2 days in a row?
The Mets are the best team in the division, and the Braves have stunk lately. So maybe some value on David Peterson and the Mets, even though Schwellenbach's very good. Dean Kramer goes
coming off his first shutout, by the way, coming off, so he's hot.
Kramer goes for the Orioles. Zach Littell goes for the Rays. Rays -125 at home. Matthew Liberatore goes for the Cardinals. Shane Smith for the White Sox. Cardinals -150 on the road. Seth Lugo is going to toe the rubber for the Royals. Jack Leiter going for the Rangers. Rangers -135 there at the ballpark. Chad Patrick and Milwaukee are in Chicago to take on the Cubs. Ben Brown going for the Cubbies. Cubs -150. Boston Red Sox in Bueller.
Yeah, they're alone.
Walker Bueller to the hill for the Red Sox. Brian goes for the Mariners. Mariners -185. Slade Ciccone goes for the Guardians. They're in San Francisco taking on the G-Men. The Giants send Robbie Ray. They are -160. The Houston Astros, this is a bold strategy.
Is this guy unpacked? Does he have a number?
The Astros are -120 favorites. They're starting
George Costanza, I think.
Jason Alexander.
I
George
think
Costanza
is on the mound for the Astros.
Yes, he's a -120 favorite on the road. J.P. Sears going for the Athletics. This is going to be a remarkable match. I guess Kramer was not available.
Well, I saw him. George had a brief stint with the Yankees as a traveling secretary, secretary, and
he knows ball.
He knows the game. So it's been a long time in coming. 30 years in the minors, but here we are.
And the Padres are at the Dodgers. Randy Vasquez going for the Padres. They are still a big dog. -225 are the Dodgers. Dodgers going to go with an opener today, and then see where the day takes them. But what a luxury when you're just, we'll start an opener and we'll see how it goes, but you're still better than 2-1 favorite. The Lady Basketball Association, some of you refer to it as the WNBA. Libbity Bibbity.
Here we go.
9-point favorites over the Dream. Liberty coming off their first loss of the year. They're going to be pissed off.
To the Fighting Caitlin's.
And the Dream suck. Oh, Liberty's going to stomp that ass. The Minnesota Lynx, how about this? 13.5-point favorites over the Aces. I don't know what's going on with the Aces. The Aces aren't as good as they have been, so maybe they're no good anymore, period. But that feels like a lot of points against a team that's been consistently the second best or best team in the league for, 3 years now? Lynx laying 13.5, though. Big number. Valkyries are in Dallas taking on the Wings. The Wings are minus 3.5 favorites. The Wings are favored in a basketball game?
Paid's back, baby. We got the baller. She's playing.
That's crazy. And Washington Mystics are in Chicago to take on the Sky, and the queen of the me-bounds, Angel Reese.
Hey, give her some credit. She's owning this.
Yeah.
But, if you don't know, she has trademarked the term me-bound.
Yeah.
So if you want to put it on a shirt to make fun of her, she's going to get Brian Bosworth on this.
She's going to get paid.
So congratulations.
Mystics minus 5, though. And the Seattle Storm heads to L.A. to take on the Sparks. I don't know if my gal Cameron Brink is back yet. I hope she's back. I see her in the New Balance commercials.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple of bathing suit shots, but I don't know about the game.
But Seattle, 8.5-point favorites, which tell me there's no way Cameron Brink's around because that would never happen. They'd never. That'd be a disrespectful line, in fact, if Cameron Brink were there. And in the world of college baseball, Oregon State and Louisville go at it today. Oregon State, a minus 195 favorite. Total in that one is 10.5. No lineup on the conclusion of the match with LSU and UCLA because I think they don't know who's going to pitch yet. But LSU is still your favorite to win the College World Series at plus 105. Arkansas went from plus 600 yesterday to plus 350 now. Hope you took my advice. Got a little taste of that plus 600. And obviously we'll have to hope for the best with that, long way to go. But I do like that 6-1, and I think it's going to get shorter by the round. So there you go. There is your look at the daily lines. Friends, that's all the show we have for you today. We can't, we could do 2 more hours, but legally.
It's called gilding the lily at that point. It's already perfect. You can't make it better.
Legally, I think there's also ramifications. Like, we're not allowed to do radio for more than 4 hours in a day. Otherwise, it's like
OSHA.
Abuse. Yeah. Like,
I got to go to the bathroom anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Vic's been working by himself today. He's only taken 1 dump this morning. It's poor guy. He's all clogged up. Clogged up. It's because you ate those steaks on Father's Day, friend.
I'm still going.
That's it.
It's still coming out.
The Blitz, that fine program, comes up at 2 o'clock. I hope you'll join them. They'll be on from 2 to 6. Jason and Joe.
I saw they're going to be out at the Lion and Rose on Friday.
Yes, they
Bar out there
are.
on
Yes,
10.
they
Go see
are.
'em.
They'll be giving away some tickets, too, to Daughtry and Seether.
Right.
They took the rest of them. They said, Morning Huddle.
We didn't have any.
They said the Morning Huddle's the most overrated show on our station. We're taking their tickets. We're the Tyrese Halliburton of this station. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, baby.
KTFM Floresville.